What's up? What's up? I see Danny P up in here early. Duca looks up in here early. Right? Well, not early, but early enough. What up, though? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Wait for some more people to fall up in here. Wait for some more people to fall up in here. Oh, let me change this shit. Hold on. I'm gonna have to do it. What's good? What's good? Blunt Samurai. I like that name. I like that name. Blunt Samurai. So you need to get a dope picture to go with that. Bring it all together. All right. Wait for some more people to fall up in here. Let me plug the joint right quick. The real reason your casual situation gets complicated. We're going to talk about it. And we're going to talk about some more shit on top of that. The real reason your casual situation gets complicated. All right, y'all, give me just a moment. All righty, real quick, gentlemen, and any ladies that might be in attendance a little bit later on. If you have a question, put a Q in the chat, followed by your question. I'm not going to be here that long. I'm here for a good time, not a long time, right? So if you got a question, put a Q in the chat, followed by your question. We'll get to that. Again, the real reason your casual situation gets complicated. Let me shout out some individuals. Duca Lux was good. Danny P was good. Blunt Samurai was good again. Marktavius, His Holiness. Wait for some more people to fall up in here. And we'll get into it. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So let's just go ahead and get off into it. Again, guys, if you got a question, put a Q in the chat, followed by your question. And it doesn't have to be related to this particular topic. Just make sure that it's clear and concise and that you articulate yourself well with the question, right? Again, the real reason why your casual situation gets complicated. Let me just say this real quick. And I want guys to understand something. There's a lot of information on the internet, and a lot of it is, of course, sex-based. And fine, there's nothing wrong with sex. There's nothing wrong with talking about sex. In fact, you cannot have an honest discussion about dating dynamics, relationships. You cannot talk about any of that without talking about sex. You have to get to sex, right? We just have to have an honest discussion about sex. But also, guys, y'all have to be honest about what y'all really want. You have to be honest about what you want when it comes to your dealings with women. And I'll put it like this. It's simply this. Do you want to fuck her or do you want to date her? It's really that simple. That's it. Do you just want to have sex with this woman or are you interested in dating? There's a big fucking difference. There is no in-between shit. Do you just want to fuck her? Now, you can fuck a chick for a little while, couple months, several months even. And then you guys can end up dating later on. And that can perhaps even blossom into a relationship as well. But in the beginning, when you're first dealing with women, you need to be clear about what you want to do so the woman can get on board. Guys, that's why, look, let me just say this real quick. This is why when guys ask for like pickup lines and what do I say and approaching questions, and fine, all those questions are valid questions, but there's way more to dealing with women than just approaching and talking and offering dates and shit like that. There's way more. There's way more. Because here's the thing. If you're not leading the situation how you want, women are going to fill in the blanks. That's how that works. If you are not the one defining what it is you guys are doing, women, they'll define it. And then how you're dealing with the woman will be defined by what she wants to do. And then you'll end up following the woman. And then what will happen, this is what happens to a lot of guys. A lot of you guys, you go with the flow. When it comes to women, you just, I just go with the flow. As long as she's interested, she's dealing with me, and I think there's a chance I can smash and, we can get together and all that kind of shit, I'm just going to go with it. I'm not going to say anything or do anything. I'm just going to go with what she's doing. And the problem with that is you're going to get pulled down to the well of emotions. And then what's going to happen is everything that you're going to be doing is going to be based on how the woman wants it done. The amount of times you guys talk on the phone, the texting back and forth, hanging out and doing non-sexual shit. And then what happens with, and ladies, any ladies listening, because this is what really happens with a lot of these guys. They discover one or two things. Either having sex with you really isn't all that great. That happens too, ladies. And or they don't really like you that much. Like, I really don't like this chick. Okay, hold on real quick. Let me make sure I get a homie his just due. Shout out to Dukalux for the 200 Norwegian Chrome. Yes, I'm gonna get a couple of coffees, some espressos. Oh, Jillian is in the building. All right, that's the homegirl right there, Jillian, right? So sometimes these guys, Juliana, you know what I'm saying? They realize, you know what it's like, Juliana? You know what it's like? Have y'all ever fixed a lot of food and you was like, man, I'm gonna tear this food up, right? And then when you start eating it, you realize you're not as hungry as you thought you were. And you only ate a little bit of that shit, and there's a whole fucking, or you order some shit. You either order some food or you make yourself some food, and then you start eating it, you realize, I really don't want to eat this shit. Lady, that's exactly what happens when, when guys are dealing with y'all and they doing too much of that non-sexual shit, and they eventually get to the sex. And then they realize, man, I really don't want to do this shit no more. But ladies, what happens, because a lot of these guys really don't have sexual options like that, they want to maintain access to you sexually, but they don't want to do that non-sexual shit no more. And then that's where they run into trouble. Juliana, you know this is true. The inconsistencies start as far as how the guy is showing up for you. You don't want to talk as much. He seems a little off, a little distant. He doesn't seem as chatty and clingy. He don't like you like that. Or maybe the pussy is whack. Look, real quick. Juliana and other ladies, I've had clients where I got on them for that. I'm like, why are you keeping that woman around and you don't like the sex? And Juliana, you know what they say? Zag, I got to keep it real. I don't have no other girls I'm fucking right now. What is the man supposed to do? And my thing is, guys, I get that, but you got to break that cycle. You got to break that cycle of dealing with women you really don't like that. Or what you could really do from the very beginning, if you keep it strictly sexual, we're going to get into it. If you keep it strictly sexual in the beginning, none of that non-sexual shit, none of that shit, and you keep it strictly sexual, at least at the bare minimum, make sure that there is mutual sexual chemistry or sexual compatibility. At least make sure that shit is there, right? At least. Because what you don't want to do is over-invest in a situation with all that non-sexual shit you guys like to do. Because again, I said this before, all that non-sexual shit you guys do, it gets tethered or it gets tied to the sex. It becomes a part of it, right? You let the chick spend the night and all that shit y'all guys like to do. It becomes part of the sex. So once you start to take that shit away, the woman starts to take what away? The sex. And that's your fault. Keep the sex separate. Sex over here when it's time, the appropriate time, when a woman has earned it, when you feel like she is truly worthy of you fucking with on the strength, then you can usher in her emotions. Because if you ain't ready for them emotions, Juliana, I'm trying to warn him. She says, but luckily in my case, I don't like the casual nonsense, non-sexual stuff either. No time for it. See, and that's, guys, and that's what women aren't that difficult. Give them their marching orders. That's it. And what I mean by that is just tell them exactly what you want to do, when, how, where. And if they're interested enough, they will say, okay. That's it. Tell them exactly what you want. And if they are interested or attracted to you enough, they will say, okay. Now, if they resist you or they seem a little hesitant or reluctant, what they're saying with that action is, I'm not attracted enough to you to do it how you want to do it. I'm not attracted enough to you to follow you or to do it your way. Once you encounter that, you stop fucking with them. Now, many of you, you're not going to listen. You're very hard-headed. You're not going to listen. I know some of you haven't had sex ever. So the first time you encounter a woman who's giving you some rhythm, you're going to be like, man, I don't give a fuck if I'm compromising myself or not. If I can get some ass out of this, I'm going to do it. Many of you, you're not going to listen. You're going to do that shit. Now, once you bump your head, once you're ready for this ism and you're ready to learn, then you can come back, right? The real reason your casual situation gets complicated. And again, if y'all have a question, put a Q in the chat, followed by your question. Shout out to the homie Uncle Guns. It's been a minute, my brother. It's been a minute. I just looked up. I ain't even noticed you was in here just now. Man, shout out to you, homie. It's been a minute. Again, guys, if y'all have a question, put a Q in the chat, followed by your question. What are we talking about? The real reason your casual situation gets complicated. So, hold on real quick. Let me just say this real quick. Because I want people to understand, right? I'm seeing a lot of posts on Facebook specifically where women are talking about men wanting to control them and shit like that, right? And ladies, I just want to say this, ladies. I want guys to understand. If you're dealing with a man who is coming from a place of fear or insecurity, or they are worried about having a loss or anything like that, they're going to seek to want to control the situation with the woman out of fear. And you can't control women. What you can do is control your environment. You cannot control women. You can heavily influence women. You can influence women. The more attracted a woman is to you, the more you can influence her. And what I mean by that is her behaviors can be influenced by your presence. A woman's behaviors, how she responds and acts with you, can most definitely be influenced by how attracted she is to you. You just have to know how to lead her where you want her to go. And that's where this starts at, leadership. Leadership in dating is not about control, at least not the woman, but your environment. It's about clarity. What does that mean? You guys, if you guys pay attention, go back and look at my catalog, pre-recorded videos, live streams, all of that. I always talk about setting a woman's expectations. Under promise, over deliver. Under promise, over deliver. Setting a woman's expectations. All you have to do is let women know, I want to do X, Y, Z. And it doesn't necessarily have to be verbal. I'll give you a prime example. Even when you talk about casual sex relationships or fuck buddy scenarios, you don't necessarily have to tell a woman that you want to establish a sexual relationship. You don't have to verbalize that. All you have to do is, one, ascertain whether or not there's mutual sexual desire and attraction. That's one. Two, set up the situation. Three, if and when sex happens, if both of you mutually enjoy each other, from that point on, you can guide the woman. If there is a mutual interest in fucking each other again, right then and there, you are in position to heavily influence how she moves going forward, depending on how you got the sex, though. Now, if you waited, you know what I'm saying, because she wanted you to wait, that's not going to happen. If you begged for the pussy, waited for sex because she made you wait, or you did a bunch of fucking dates and non-sexual shit, none of this is going to happen for you, right? This has to be a situation where you're leading from the fucking beginning. All that passive, indirect shit y'all do, women ain't going to follow you. Ever. Ever. They will never follow you. Ever. They might cooperate in a very inconsistent manner, depending on what you're doing and your level of investment, but you'll never get real submission. You'll never get that. Not following women. And let me just say this real quick, because I want guys to understand something. You know, I said this, and I've been saying this. A lot of the shit that women say they want, right? When they actually get it in real time, they don't like it. Okay, follow me. When women say, I want a man to fall in love with me, as an example. Women say, I want a man to fall in love with me. I want a man to be obsessed. I'm seeing that word all over the place on social media. I want a man who's obsessed. And I put it into the comment. Obsession is stalking. Obsession is he won't let you leave him, because if he can't have you, nobody can. And every time those posts go up, there's always sensible women who come into the post and they agree. I don't want a man to be obsessed with me, because they know what it looked like. Be careful what you ask for. Like, even when women say the perfect relationship is when a man is more in love with the woman. No, it's not. See, they say that. Let me tell you why women say that, right? And this is how deep it goes, right? The reason why women will say that, the reason why women will say it works better if the man is more in love, because women understand how they have gotten when they have fell in love with a man or men. They know how they kind of lost themselves a little bit, right? They got a little maybe possessive, a little clingy, a little needy. They remember how they got. So they're like, man, the perfect balance is not me being that way where I'm getting my heart broke all the time. It's these men being that way with me. So if anything happens, they're getting their heart broke and I'm not. See, when we talk about power dynamics, right, and leverage, right, when women talk about the man being more in love, that's just basically the woman saying, I want more emotional control over myself, but I want him to lose emotional control so I can run his ass. Y'all see how that work? Y'all see how that work? Because they know how it get. They know how they get when they fall in love, right? So, and this is why, Juliana, this is why, real quick, this is why a lot of women are really bitter. Like, a lot of chicks right now, damn near all these chicks who talk about cash at me this, cash at me that, or nigga gotta pay for this, or dude gotta pay for that. All of these chicks believed in love and sex was, but they all believed in that shit at one point in time. They all believed in love and that princess shit. They all believed in it at one point. Now, a lot of women still believe in it, but a lot of those women who act like they're all about the money, they're coming from a place of scorn and hurt, where they can't stand men. And they're like, if I'm gonna fuck with a dude, I'm gonna get all I can out of these motherfuckers, because of the fact that they've been disappointed so much with lying ass dudes and shit, lying for pussy, pretending like they really like the chick. Dudes they falling in love with, doing them dirty. See, this is why I don't get mad at women. If you really pay attention to everything that women talk about, you can trace it back to them being disappointed by men. men that they fell in love with, men they felt used by, betrayed by, all of that shit. It come from a place of that. So I'm looking at it like, I get it. I understand. My thing is, as a man, though, you can't get caught up in all of that shit, which is why you keep your emotions out of it, right? And you just lead her without your emotions. When you take your emotions out of it, most of the time, you're going to keep her emotions at bay. I would never tell you can keep a woman's emotions out of it. Impossible. If you deal with a woman long enough, the shit is going to seep in. It's like radioactive shit that just kind of seeps in and it permeates everything. So eventually it's going to happen. But when you have leadership, when you know how to lead women, you lessen the likelihood of you having unfavorable outcomes with women. Not only sexually, but once you actually start having sex and you have women coming around on a regular basis. Bro, real quick, y'all should not be arguing with these women after a week or two or three. It's wild to me that guys are getting into debates and arguments. Yo, shit should be so peaceful and serene. It should be like daisies and tulips and just a sun-filled sky. That's how effortless and easy and calm, and it should be like lavender smells and shit. That's how dating should be with women. It should be that easy and peaceful. It should not all of this turmoil and strife and back and forth. And that comes from a lack of leadership. And that comes from guys having way too much emotion in the situation. Right? But we're going to get into this. And again, leadership in guys in dating is not about control. It's about clarity. You can't control the woman. So we're going to get into blurring the lines in casual dating. Blurring the lines. Let me just say this again. Guys, choose one. Pick one. You know, real quick, I had a consultation recently, over the weekend, in fact. And I was talking to a young man, and I told him straight up, because he kept saying that he just want to have sex. And I told him, I said, you're not built for casual sex encounters. I told him, I said, you're not built for that. And I told him, there's nothing wrong with you not being built for that. I said, you really want a relationship. That's what you really want. I said, you want a loving relationship. You want a girlfriend and shit, a chick you can kick it with. I said, that's what you really want. The problem is you believe that fucking a lot of chicks is going to do something for you. And guys, I'm telling y'all right now, right? It's okay if you're the kind of guy where you don't want to fuck a bunch of chicks. You just want to meet a couple chicks, fuck with some chicks that you really, really like, date them and see where it goes. It's okay if you're that guy. Y'all got to be honest with yourselves, though, about who the fuck you are, and stop trying to pretend to be somebody that you're not. Like a lot of these callers that we call in the live streams, trying to act like you're players. Bro, you're not players. We can tell. I can tell. I don't want to speak for nobody else. I can tell. I can fucking tell by the way that you fucking talk. If you know your way, I can tell every fucking time. Nigga, you can't fool me. You can't trick me at all. I can tell. For sure. 100% of the time, I can tell. I can tell who got guys who are players, guys who got the game, but they kind of slide back into some sipping shit every now and again, and then guys who just flat out don't fucking have it. I can fucking tell by the way that you talk. Right? And that's with anybody. And it's not just with women. When you understand how people communicate themselves through their words and their actions, when you understand how people tell on themselves with how they act and what they say, people tell. It's a dead giveaway. Even with women, let's take it back to women. If you pay attention to a woman's reactions and responses to what you're saying and to your presence, women are telling you what's up. They're telling you what's up. Right? You just got to pay attention. Okay, we do got a question. Hold on real quick. And again, guys, if y'all got a question, put a Q in the chat, followed by your question. So he says, let me grab it. How do you deal with the woman who's attached too much to you and you're her only option? I don't believe that you have that situation. I think that's a hypothetical question. That's what I think. I don't think you have that situation. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I've had women who were attached to me, and I was not their only option. I was their favorite option. I was the guys. Come on, man. See, look again. Number one, you're not gonna know if you are a woman's only option. There's no way for you to know that. There's no way for you to know that. You don't know what that woman is doing when you're not around. You for you to say, "Oh, I'm her only option." No, I think that's the other way around, right, guys? Okay, look, I am not condoning, nor am I advocating for men to be side guys, right? And in fact, shout out to the homie Lucario, and I'm with him. I think guys should just stay away from chicks who got significant others. That's just how I feel, right? Because those guys are very dangerous. You know what I'm saying? This is what I will say. I've been a side dude, okay, a number of times retired, and all I'm doing is having sex with the woman. I'm not doing nothing else, and she's super attached. Super attached. She got a man though. She got a man though. And I don't want to get into the situation too much. And for anyone that really rock with me, I talked about this, and you know what I'm saying. One particular woman I'm talking about, she sabotaged. She self-sabotaged her relationship. Retired. She sabotaged her relationship with the guy she was with because she wanted me to see her more, and she felt he was in the way of that. A man who they live together, he paying bills. I'm just fucking her. I ain't paying nobody's bills. No dates, none of that shit. She sabotaged that relationship with a guy in a home who paying bills, and she was willing to pay bills by her fucking self. Just so I could come over. Because she wanted me to, and I'm like, you got a man, girl, I can't be fucking you like that. And she sabotaged that shit. Come on, bro, I know. That's why when these PUA types and other guys be talking, I'm like, y'all don't know nothing. Y'all don't know nothing about attraction and lust and all of that. You don't know nothing. You don't know nothing. It gets deep. The world wants deep when it comes to that shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't know nothing. And you got guys out here, they're trying to mimic what they think a guy is that can inspire a woman or a woman. Excuse me, they can inspire a woman or women to act like that. Then what can I do? What can I say to make a woman behave like that with me? And that's what this PUA shit is all about. It ain't just guys. It's not just about them having sex. It's about them trying to get the woman to like chase them and be on their dick and be sweating them and all of that. That's what they're trying to get. They don't just want to have sex with the women. Well, in many cases, they cool with getting their dick wet. But a lot of it is ego driven. Like, I want a woman to beat down my door for this dick. I want her to chase me. I want her to call me and told me she had dreams about this dick and she can't wait to have. That's what they want. And you have to understand, you cannot manufacture that. You can't. You cannot, and you can't negotiate that with women. It either exists or it fucking doesn't. And it don't, guys, when you talk about carnal desire and lust and that kind of shit, it happens now. It don't happen after 2 dates. Now, what could happen, and I said this in a recent video, is a woman can be sexually attracted to you, and then after you guys have sex, if you fuck the shit out of her, she can definitely become intoxicated with the sex, right? But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when women first meet you. The very first time y'all meet face to face. I'm not talking about seeing her 2 or 3 times. No, the first time. The first time y'all ever meet face to face, what happens in that interaction? What happens? What's the energy like? What happens? If a woman is let me tell y'all something real quick. No, let me talk to Danny real quick. Let me talk to Danny. Danny P. Danny, if y'all remember, there was a viral video of a chick, a white chick, attractive chick. She was talking to a wrestler. I believe the guy was a wrestler. White dude, brolic, kind of, she's doing an interview with this wrestler guy. And if y'all remember in the clip, now the wrestler guy, his girlfriend or his fiance, his wife, or whatever the woman was to him, is off to the side while he's being interviewed. Now, he's not wearing a shirt. He's shirtless. This is very important. So this woman is interviewing him after like a wrestling match or something. He all sweaty and shit. Pause, right? It just goes with her own imagination. That's the point I'm trying to make. So while she's interviewing him, she's biting her bottom lip, inadvertently biting her bottom lip. And when I saw that video, I'm like, I've seen that before. I've seen that. Yeah, she bite. Yes, yes. Dukalux. If y'all remember, I told you guys a story. I went to a chick's crib and she let me through, I guess, the side door or whatever the fuck it was. But whatever door it was, because it wasn't the front of the house. But she had like a carport and there was a door right there. And I went through that motherfucker, right? And there was kind of like, I was in the shadows. When I first came into the door, into the kitchen, I was in the shadows. But a couple of steps into the kitchen, now I'm in the light, right? Like I fell from heaven and shit, right? Now I'm in the light, right? No, this is some real shit. So when I saw that video, Dukalux, I'm like, I seen that shit before. So she let me into the crib. Her back is to me. She walks into the light, Dukalux, and then she does an about face and she turns around. So as I step into the light, that's exactly what she did. She looked at me up and down and she bit her bottom lip. And she didn't know she was doing it, inadvertent. And when she did that, Dukalux, I'm like, yep, she wanna fuck. And then as soon as I saw her bite her bottom lip, I didn't say anything about sex after that. There was no need to say anything about sex. I saw her bite her bottom lip. All I had to do was make it happen at that point. No need for talking. I saw what I needed to see. See, and I said this real quick. When we talk about sexual attraction, there's levels to it. There's levels, meaning this, a woman can desire you sexually, but she's not pressed to have sex with you right now. It don't have to be that night. It don't even have to be this week. It could be a couple weeks from now. She's cool. She ain't pressed, right? She wouldn't mind, but she ain't pressed. Now, when you start talking about lust and carnal desire, she wants your dick now. She ain't trying to wait. She ain't trying to wait. She don't want to wait. I mean, if she got to, she would. But she want it now. And if you try to tell her she got to wait a week, she's like, really? You gonna make me wait that long? A woman you just met that you ain't even fucked yet is talking to you like, you gonna make me wait for your dick? Really? She ain't even had it yet. But the anticipation is so strong because the attraction is so heavy and the desire, the willingness to put action in is there. And that's the difference. When we start talking about levels of desire and attraction, the woman's action tells you, not her words. Fuck them words. Them words don't, look, a woman's word, yeah, we can get together and maybe next time. No. Those are not words of a lustful woman. It ain't no maybe next time. No, she wants now, right now. That's why, look, real quick. That's why when guys call into the live streams and they're talking about they are in their cars making out with these chicks, and we ask them, I know I ask them all the time, was she feeling on your joint? And when they say no, she ain't trying to fuck. Now, here's a disclaimer, right? Here's the caveat. Just because a woman is feeling on your joint doesn't necessarily mean that sex is gonna happen. But if she makes no effort to ever fill you up, to get a sample of what she might be getting, she does not want to have sex with you. Definitely not right then and there. She don't want to do that shit. I promise you she don't. When women desire you, they want to know what they're getting. Y'all understand? They want to know. They want to know what you got, what you working with. You got me turned on. What you got? Oh, is that it? That's why, guys, look, I don't want to hurt no feelings. But if you ever got felt up before and a woman grabbed your package and you never got a call back, I'm just, hey, look, maybe your jeans was too tight. Maybe the blood flow was restrictive and the expansion couldn't happen. Who knows? I don't know what was happening. But if she felt you up and she immediately ghosted you, you never heard from her ever again, chances are she didn't feel what she felt she needed to feel, right? I'm just saying. Don't be mad. Just wear different drawers next time. Just loosen up your pants a little bit around the crotch area so shit can breathe. I'm just saying. These are not fashion tips. These are blood flow tips, right? Take heed. Take that advice if you don't take any other advice. Because you don't want to get felt up on and then ghosted. I don't want your ego and your pride hurting shit. The real reason your casual situation gets complicated, right? So hold on, we got another question. Yo, man, look. Yo, look. If guys, and let me just say this. Because there is multiple reasons why a woman might want to fill up on you, right? One, she's just horny and she wants to touch it, right? That's one. But two, another reason she can be filling up on it is because she's not certain she wants to have sex with you just yet. Jilliana, I'm sorry, I gotta give up y'all secrets. She's not certain she want to have sex with you just yet. So she wants to feel it to see if it's worth her time. So she might be like, I'm not sure about him, but, and then she'll get the feeling, and if it feel right in her hand, she might be like, fuck it. Why not? I might actually enjoy this night after all. The real reason your casual situation gets complicated, but I'm also going to tell you this too. If she don't make an effort to start unbuckling shit, now her filling you up is one thing, but if she fill you up and she immediately starts trying to unzip and unbuckle, it's there you go. All right, yeah, you're working with a little something, right? You're working because she's taking action. She wants to meet mini-me. Allow her to be introduced properly. Yes, go ahead and let him out. But let her know though, if you let that motherfucker out, if you let him out that cage, I'm just letting you know. Look, it's going to get rough in this car. Like it ain't, look. Windows might get kicked out accidentally. If you let that motherfucker out, it's about to go down. Just let her know. Just warn her. Look, real quick. As an aside, I don't know why I even thought about this shit. I remember one time I was driving, right? Was I driving? Either way, I was sitting in my car in the passenger seat. I was sitting, driver's seat, of course. I had a woman that I hadn't had sex with yet in the passenger side. I keep fucking up. I had her in the passenger side, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm leaning back in a seat. Jilliana, I'm leaning back in the seat. And she keep looking at my crotch. Jilliana, she keep looking at it. We ain't had sex yet, mind you. I keep catching her looking at my shit. So Jilliana, I said, you good over there? This is what I told her. I said, you good over there? She was like, yeah, what do you mean? And then I look at her dead in the eye, Jilliana, and then I looked at my crotch because I wanted her eyes to follow my eyes so I can let her know I see what you're looking at. So Jilliana, when she did that, she kind of giggled to herself. So I started unbuckling my pants real slow. And I lifted it up ever so gently. And Jilliana, I didn't show her shit, right? I just lifted it up. And Jilliana, when I tell you she was breaking her neck to look, she leaned all in. I was like, yeah. Got her. Anyway, back to my point. The real reason your casual situation gets complicated, right? So we do got a question. Let me snatch that motherfucker up real quick. All right, so he says, did you create the primal lust in women just by your extreme confidence and good flirting skills? Well, okay, so when you talk about create, okay, I'm not trying to create anything, okay? And this is what guys got to understand, because that's what the PUAs get fucked up. They're trying to create shit. I'm not trying to create anything at all. Guys, here's the thing. Every guy, all of y'all right now, whether you know it or not or believe it or not, you have encountered women at some point in your life who have been sexually curious about you. I didn't say anything about desire or attraction, right? That too, but I'm not talking about that, right? Because when we talk about a woman being sexually curious, that doesn't necessarily imply that she wants to fuck you. She's just curious. She's pondering some shit, right? It don't guarantee anything. She's just kicking some shit around in her head, right? So every guy, there's been some woman somewhere, right? Unless you fell into a vat of acid and you're completely deformed and can't nobody tell who you are and you have no distinguishing features whatsoever. Okay, there's a woman somewhere who thought your ass was cute and was curious about you. Somewhere. Even if she never approached you, even if you never approached her and she just saw you from across the room, whatever, right? I said all that to say this. In my heart of hearts, I believe every guy is desirable to some women somewhere. And I say that to say this. I see guys on a regular basis, every time I leave my fucking door, my neighbors, I see guys that got pretty chicks, and these guys are just average guys. Now, their women aren't, beauty queens, but these aren't ugly women that they're with. And these guys are just everyday guys. They ain't got no muscles. They ain't got no super nice car. Nigga drive a Nissan. He got a Subaru, but he got a bitch. A cute one. He's not tall. So guys are getting women. So when guys are on the internet talking, I'm like, where's all this shit at? My reality is not only my personal reality with women, but the reality I see with all of these other guys. I'm like, and I see goofy looking guys, like, there must be something about him, because I know he ain't got no money because he's driving that. But that chick is all over him. A little cute agent on him. But his little pink hair ass. Dude got pink hair, but he got a cute Asian chick on him. I'm like, that's what she like. She ain't my type, but she cute. She on him. And they share a car, a little Mazda, whatever the fuck they was driving. They sharing a car, but she on him. And let me just say this real quick. Contrary to popular belief, not all women want player types. Yeah, they might have sex with player types in many cases. But when you talk about relationships, there's a lot of chicks that they want a guy who's safe, that they are attracted to, mind you. When I say safe, a guy that doesn't have that player appeal to him. He's cute in his own way, and he got whatever she feel like she needs in that moment or with him. And that happens too. Like, again, back to my point though. Back to my point. I'm not trying to create anything. It already exists in women. Okay, listen to me. Listen to me. Primal lust already exists. It exists in us all. It exists in us all. The problem is people are so busy hiding themselves, wearing social masks. You guys, you're so busy hiding yourself. You don't know it's there because you're too afraid to be sexual, right? A lot of you guys, you have sexual desires. You have these thoughts. You have these things you would love to do to women, but you're never going to get to do them because you're too scared to fucking talk. A lot of you guys, you have all of these thoughts, man, I would love to do this, man. If I ever get a chance to do this, I'm going to do this, that. But because of your fear, you can just go watch porn and watch other motherfuckers do what you wish you had the courage to talk to a bitch so you could do. So you can do it. Create your own. Create your own stories. Create your own experiences. And it's not that women don't want you and you can't find a woman who wants you. It's because you're scared to even put yourself out there to see which women would want that. It already exists. When we talk about it already exists. Guys, when you're gamed up and you understand who you are and you showcase yourself to the world, you go out to the world and you show who you are unapologetically. Something very attractive about that to women. They gravitate to that kind of shit. So you literally awaken things in them. You can awaken certain things in women just by your presence, just by how you're being with that woman. Look, let me just say this. And shout out to the homie Lucario. He did a live stream. I don't know if it was, what's today? Monday? I don't know if it was Saturday, Friday. One of them 2 days, he did a live stream. And he talked about how women, a lot of times, they might not engage in casual sex initially, but eventually they might, or eventually they will. Not might, they will. So this is what I want to say about that. And this is what guys don't understand about women and sex. Every woman right now who is currently engaging or has already engaged in one-night stands and weekend flings, do you think those women ever thought they would do that shit when they were younger? Do you think they thought they would? No. A lot of chicks said, I would never have a one-night stand. Ew. Have sex with a complete stranger? Until women will always say, oh, I would never do XYZ sexually. Until, oh, I would never share a man with one of my girlfriends until they meet a motherfucker. And it changes everything. This is what guys don't, and again, guys don't understand. Women have sexual fantasies. Women have sexual thoughts, private ones. I'm just the type of motherfucker that gets them to share that shit. Baby girl, I know you got it. Right? And the reason why women are willing to share it with me is because I'm sexual with them. So they look at me. Now, this is the women who are sexually attracted to me, obviously. They're like, shit. I feel extremely comfortable around this man sexually because I know how he's coming at me. He's not coming at me in such a way where I'm unsure. Here's the thing about women taking off their mask. A lot of you guys don't understand that your leadership, you being assertive, you being direct, you being transparent with what you want to do, it lets women know what frame of thought they need to be in dealing with you. Meaning, how should they carry themselves with you? Because if you're indirect, if you're passive about what you want, women are also going to be passive and indirect with you because they don't know what you want. So they don't want to step out there and be more assertive than they need to be in that moment for fear of judgment because they don't know where you're going. They don't know if you're trying to fuck, if you're trying to offer a date, if you're trying to get, they don't know because you haven't made your intentions clear. But when you make your intentions clear, now women know. Now I know. If she's sexually attracted to you and you made that clear, that you coming with that energy, now she know it's safe for her. She can come out and play. Basically, when we're talking about sex, it's safe. I can come out and play now. I was hoping this man would come correct. And this is what a lot of you guys don't understand. You could be having conversation with a woman who is sexually attracted to you, and you don't know it. Not all women are going to make it obvious. Most women, no, let me scratch that. All women will be subtle about it with men that they actually desire. All women will be subtle about it. Now, depending on how strong that desire is for that man, and also depending on how much that man pushes the envelope with how he's flirting, aka building sexual attention, that might evoke her to be way more sexual than she normally might be. Again, when we talk about subtle, what's an example of a woman being subtle? A woman offering to buy you a drink. I know a lot of you guys, you never experienced that, but that's just an example. You sitting at a bar, a woman offer to buy you a drink. Or you sitting at a bar and a woman sits right next to you, although there's a bunch of seats on either side of you that are kind of empty, but she sits right next to you. And then she looks at you and says, hi. Now, it doesn't guarantee sex, but in many cases, she could have sat anywhere, but she sat right next to your ass. Now, if you got some sense about you, and if you're actually attracted to that woman, you should be socially aware enough to know she could have sat anywhere. Guys, I'm not telling you what I think, I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I know. Recently, I went to a movie theater and that happened. That happened. Chick was way over there. She was way over there. I'm watching the game, waiting for my movie to start. She was way, I could see her out my peripheral, just going back and forth like this out my peripheral. I'm kind of looking, I'm like, she way over there. I'm not going to get up. She way the fuck over there. I'm not got my microphone around and shit. Hold on, my bad. I'm about to break this motherfucker. She way over there. So I'm like, so I just sat there, chilling, watching the game. And lo and behold, there's all these seats right next, right there. Knees damn near touching. I'm like, well, good evening to you too. See, we getting cozy right away. Right, baby? You see right there. Good evening to you. We getting cozy right away. How you doing? Eating her popcorn with her greasy ass hands. That was kind of a turn off. Real quick, ladies, hold on real quick. Let me talk to the ladies. Don't be approaching me with a fifth full of popcorn. Don't do that. With your hands all greasy and shit trying to talk to me. Don't do that. You're fucking up the shit. You're fucking up the vibe. You're fucking up the mood. It's kind of hard for me to be my flirty self when in your hands and you looking at me and shit with lustful eyes, but you eat. No, don't do that. Put that shit to the side. Let me get at you for a moment. Stop stuffing your face full of popcorn and stuff it with something else. All right, so anyway, the real reason your casual situation gets complicated, we do got some questions real quick. What did he say? Said about choosing signal, he has to choose you twice. Yeah, man, because here's the thing. Okay, so again, most women are subtle about it. They might come up to you and ask you a goofy question. You know, do you have the time? She's asking you, do you have the time? She got on an Apple Watch and she got her phone in her hand. And she's asking you, do you have the time? And here's my thing, guys. And let me just say this real quick. Whenever women come up to you and they put themselves in your vicinity, if you are sexually attracted to that woman, you need to immediately set up a sexual rendezvous. Don't offer no fucking date. Don't do that. Never do that. Never do that. Let me explain why. And I'm getting off the beaten path, but I'll get back to my point regarding the title in a minute. Whenever a woman approaches you, she has her own agenda every time. Now, the question is whether or not her agenda is in alignment with what you would want to do, right? So what I mean by that is this. A woman approaching you does not mean that she wants to have sex with you. It could, right? But it can also mean that she wants you to date her, right? It can mean that too, right? And that could involve sex or not, right? So whenever a woman approaches you, you cannot allow the situation to just go on its own. Like, oh, I'm just gonna let it just go with the flow. No, 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 no. You have to immediately take that situation and take control of it. Immediately. You cannot, and you gotta make it sex. You gotta make it sex because if you don't, look, guys, you can't do no dates. If a woman ever approaches you and comes at you and you really feel in that moment she attracted to me, you gotta immediately make it sex. You cannot do no dates at all, right? Because at that point, whatever her agenda is, you're not doing what you want to do. And ultimately, every woman, regardless of what women say they want, every woman wants non-sexual attention. They want that. But if you give women, let me just say this. Let me back up. If I were you guys, just to flat out, I would assume sexual attraction anytime a woman approaches you. Assume it. Now, it doesn't mean that she wants sex. When I say assume it, what I mean by that is this. If you are attracted to that woman, set it up. Let her know where she can come and get it and where she can come and get it at right away. Assume it. Whenever a woman has ever approached me, I admit if I'm attracted to her, right? Because I've turned down some chicks, but if I'm attracted to the chick, I'm like, all right, cool. This is what we're doing though. And I immediately turn it into sex right now. Right now, meaning that we're fucking exactly when and where and how I want to do it right now. It might not be today, it might be in 2 days, but whatever day I say at what time, if she doesn't say yes to that, I don't want it. Because here's the thing. If you immediately set up a dick appointment and she resists that, now you know that her agenda isn't sexual. And that's important for you to know. Because me personally, right, and this is how y'all should feel about it. A woman cannot approach me and then think she can dictate what I'm offering. Okay, I need you guys to understand that, what's happening in those dynamics. You cannot allow a woman to approach you and then set out to dictate what's happening in that interaction with you. No, you got to immediately dominate them like, this is what we're doing. So she understands, I don't know what you want with me or from me, but if you want my attention in any way, the only way you can get it is if you meet this dick first. That's it. I'm gonna need you to meet this dick. Say hi. I don't know what your agenda is. I don't know what the fuck you want from me. But I'm telling you, the only way to get access is this way. No other way but this way. No other way but this way. And you have to be unapologetic about that. And it goes with right now. The real reason your casual situations gets complicated, because you don't make it abundantly clear, this is what it is. There is no other option but this one. I tell you guys all the time, if all you want is sex, there should be one door. When she opens that door, she sees dick. That's all she sees. She don't see nothing else but dick. You guys give women door number 2, dick and possibilities. If you give a woman dick and possibilities, most women are going to take it. They're going to take it. Look. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all what women are like, okay? And this is no offense to women. No offense at all. I get it. I understand it. I get it. Women are like kids on Halloween. Okay, let me explain what I mean. For those of you who ever been trick-or-treating, right? You go to someone's house, they leave a big bowl of candy out with a sign, take just one. Women will never take just one. They don't do that. Women are greedy. They don't take just one. No, not them. No, not women. They want everything. They want it all. And women, I get it. I'm not mad at it. Okay? And what I mean by want it all, right? This is what I mean by that. If a woman is sexually attracted to you and you offer her a date, she's going to take the date 9 times out of 10. But what you don't know is you didn't have to offer it. She would have had sex with you without the date. But she ain't gonna tell you that. So when you offer the date, she's gonna be like, great, this is perfect. Unique. This is what she's gonna say, unique. This is perfect. Dick and a date. Dick, I get non-sexual attention and I get his dick. If a woman is attracted to you, she's like, perfect. Perfect. Now, if all you doing is administering dick and offering dick, she's cool with that too. But if you're going to throw some non-sexual time and attention and dates on top of it, unique, she's going to be like, sure. Why not? Oh, you want to take me out to eat? Sure. But you don't have to do all of that. You would have been fucking without it. In many cases, right? Oh, real quick, we got some questions. Give me a second, y'all. Hold on real quick. I'm snatching the questions up. I'm just making sure I grab them. I got to get the homie unique first. Some of y'all got to wait a minute. I got to get the homie unique first. Hold on real quick. So he said, not even sweet popcorn. Nah, bro. And I like that. The kettle corn. The kettle corn. I love the kettle corn. Most people I know hate that shit, but I love it. Right? That's that carnival popcorn shit. But anyway, no, unique, real quick. So he says a woman coming up to you could also mean that she possibly sees you as a mark for her own agenda. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So, and this is what I mean by that. Unique, if a woman comes up to you, right? Like she's interested in fucking with you. And you try and set something up on a sexual tip. And she immediately resists that. And she tries to redirect you to some non-sexual shit. Oh, let's just hang out and get to know each other, or let's go out on a date. She sees you as a mark. The fact that she's even trying to get you to do something other than have sex with her, she sees you as a mark. Right? Because, guys, there are women who understand there are certain guys they cannot approach. Because they know if I approach, like real quick, I'll give you a prime example. And no, for those of you who don't know, I have a twin brother and shit, right? So, back when I was in high school, as an example, just as a prime example of women know who they can and can't approach. When I was in high school, there was a time when I had moved out of the house, and I had an apartment with this friend over here, then another one with this friend, and I eventually got my own apartment, like right after I graduated. But my point is this: there was a time when I wasn't living at home, and I had an apartment with one of my homies, right? And I remember one day at track practice, we was at track practice, and there was a girl that my brother had been seeing, right? That my twin had been seeing. And I was fucking with one of her friends, and we was all at track, and my brother wasn't around. He was not part of this conversation. But it was me and a bunch of girls and maybe a couple of guys, right? And we all ran track, so it was right after track practice. We were sitting in the bleachers talking, and the girl that was fucking with my brother, she said to me, Carrie, I really wanted you. I preferred you over your brother, but you had that apartment. And I felt like if I was fucking with you, I would have had to come off the pussy. And I looked at her and I'm like, you damn right. You damn right. So she knew I can't fuck with that twin, or I gotta fuck. But this twin, no offense to my twin, I can make him wait. I can't make Carrie wait, but him, I can make him wait. Remember, I told y'all the story about the Valentine shit with the balloons and all that shit. That's him, her. That's what they was doing, right? So anyway, so put my brother out there like that. Shout out to them. Shout out to them, and shout out to her. I run into her from time to time. All these years later, shout out to her. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to her. Oh shit. Hold on real quick. We got some more questions. Yeah, again, and again, when a woman, to me, when a woman comes up to me, I'm not flattered, right? When a woman comes up to me. I'm really not. Because the first thing I'm thinking is, what the fuck does she want? What the fuck does she want? I remember one time, real quick. I felt like I was teased. Okay, let me explain what I mean. I was walking, by myself, Unique. I was walking downtown, San Antonio. I was walking like Saturday afternoon or some shit. I'm walking downtown, and out of nowhere, Unique, this very attractive Latina woman stops me. And she says, "Hey, what's your name?" Right? And I'm looking at her and I'm like, "Oh, this is my type. Oh, she's my type right here." Unique. I said, I started rubbing my hands together like Birdman. I'm like, "This is my type." Right? Because Unique, when a chick approaches me, I get straight to the sex anyway. Right? So I'm like, she's my type. Visually, I'm like, this is perfect, right? My type. So she asked me my name, I tell her my name, and immediately, Unique, when I tried to flirt with her, she was like, no, not for me, for my friend. I'm asking for my friend. She's too shy to approach you, so she sent me over here. So Unique. So I'm already disappointed, Unique. So I ask her, Unique, is she as cute as you? That's what I ask her. Is she as cute as you? So Unique, she points to the bus stop. And there's some real skinny white girl. No offense to the white girls. Real skinny, pale, big old glasses, skinny, no curves. She said her. And I'm like, hell no. Just like that. Out loud. Hell no. Right? Just like that, Unique. I said it out loud. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to say it that loud. I said, hell no. Just like that. Right? And then quietly, after I realized I said that shit out loud, I ushered her away from the bus stop a little bit, to the side, Unique, to the side. And I said, look, because her friend didn't hear me. Her friend didn't hear me say hell no, but I said that shit out loud. But I ushered her to the side so her friend wouldn't see, right? And I said, look, tell your friend I got a girlfriend, right? But this is what I want you to do, though. I want you to take this number. And I want you to utilize it. We can keep it on a hush. Your friend ain't never got to know. You know what she told me, Unique? I don't think so. That's what she told me, Unique. I don't think so. So guys, everybody gets told no sometimes, right? Everybody gets told no sometimes, right? And I don't know why she said, I don't think so, Unique. I don't know why. Could have been, was I too chocolate for her? I don't know. Maybe she prefer like the butterscotch tone and I'm too much of a Hershey kiss. Who knows? I don't know why. The skin, I don't know why. She just wasn't with it. It don't matter why she wasn't with it. She wasn't with it. So you know what I did, Unique? I skipped the fuck off. Shout out to Steve. When she said, I don't think so, I shrugged my shoulders and I skipped the fuck off and began to enjoy the rest of my motherfucking Saturday. Right? No big deal. She said no. There's more women to be had. San Antonio is full. It's filled to the brim of very beautiful, very sexy, and very willing Latina women. It's too many of them. Unique, it's too many of them. I throw up a fistful of pebbles, I'm hitting a bunch of them. It's too many of them for me to sweat one. Oh, and they love. Unique, they love us out here. Look, I'm good. I'm straight. All right, let me get back to it. Shout out, Danny. Hey, look, Danny. Shout out to all my Mexican, compadres. And shout out to my homeboy, Gabriel Davila. If you're watching this, shout out. Some of my best, look, let me say, real quick, as an aside. Hold on, let me say this real quick. Some of my most memorable times was with my Mexican partners. Let me tell y'all something. Don't nobody party like Hispanic people. Nobody. When I was in high school, real quick, I had Mexican partners whose family owned ranches. Anybody know anything about a ranch party? Right? I'm talking about their parents, grandparents, everybody cool. Right? We're in high school. Keg parties, Powerball parties. Parents buying alcohol. We at their ranch partying, having bonfires and shit. On some country shit, right? right? Mexicans know how to party their ass off. You know what I'm saying? So, look, let me tell y'all something. For all my Mexican partners, look. And yes, Danny, I got mad love for my Mexican partners, but I love y'all women too. I love y'all. Look, give it up to the women, Hispanic women everywhere, Latino women everywhere. Between them and black women, I love my black, but it'd be a toss-up. Joe Blast, it's a toss-up sometimes. It's a toss-up. Look, real quick. When I first moved to San Antonio, Joe Blast, I didn't even know what San Antonio was, Joe Blast. When I moved here when I was 15. My father got orders to move here. My father's in the military, Air Force. He got orders to move to San Antonio. I'm like, what the fuck is San Antonio? Never. Joe, I was living in San Antonio for a year and a half before I even knew they had a basketball team. I'm like, Spurs? What the fuck? I didn't know. I was looking San Antonio up on the map. I'm like, you know how they have the little demographics and they say like the race of people, like white people or black people. I'm looking at the demographics. I'm like, how many niggas live in San Antonio? I never heard of San Antonio. So when I saw it on the map, I'm like, that's close as hell to Mexico. I'm like, damn, what's going on? Because I've never really been around Hispanic people like that. I was never around Hispanic people like that. So I'm looking at the map like, damn, they got us right there. The Alamo, right there. Right? Where Ponte Villa and the soldiers were, right? So then I got here, Joe Blast. I'm looking for all the black women, right? When I got here, I'm a teenager looking for all the black women. But then when I walked around and I saw how the Hispanic chicks was acting and responding to me, Joe Blast, I'm like, for all my sisters, look, I'm gonna take a small hiatus from y'all, just for a minute. I'm coming, right, Joe Blast, I said I'm coming right back to y'all. But I'm gonna take a small hiatus, because now that I'm over here real close to the border of Mexico, I'm kind of liking their women a lot, right? So I'm taking a small hiatus to indulge myself just a little bit, right? And I just never stopped, Joe Blast, all these years later. Keep going. Right? Shout out to all my sisters. I love y'all. I love y'all. All right, so let me get to it. Let me stop talking shit. Let me get to it. All right, so we got some questions real quick. Hold on real quick. All right, so he says, am I my authentic self or creating a facade of having game? Bro, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what you are, bro. When you say, are you your authentic self? Are you? That's a question better asked and answered by guess who? You. Ask yourself this question. Guys, I'll put it to you like this. It's this simple. It's really this simple. If you see a woman and you say to yourself, after getting an eyeful of her, if you start to have sexual thoughts about this woman and you start to almost envision what you would do to her in bed, right? If you start to have these thoughts about her, the question is, how come you're not conveying that to her in your conversation? That's the question. See, here's the thing. Here's the trick. The trick is to take your thoughts. Excuse me. It's to take your thoughts. The trick is to take your thoughts, right? So I'll use the parallel of writing a book report, right? So if you're told to read a book, you're told read between this chapter and this chapter, and then write a book report on this, and that, right? So you're taking a bunch of information, and what you're doing is you're condensing that information so you can convey what happened in a summarized version, right? That's what a book report is, essentially, is you're summarizing a broader story, right? So when you think about all the shit in your head that you want to do to this chick, right? It's a lot of incoherent thoughts. Man, I'll slap that ass. Then I'll push her off the bed. Then I'll pick her back up and put her back on the bed. And all these incoherent thoughts about what you want to do, right? Right? It's when I push her off the bed, it's all in love, right? Ladies, it's all in love. I'm just talking shit, right? But my point is, you're having all these different thoughts. So the thing is to take all of these sexual thoughts, all these different things you want to do, condense that shit, and convey that to the woman in a confident, assertive manner where she understands completely what the fuck you're trying to do. That's it. It's really that's it. That's all you're doing. And see, what guys don't understand when you say, all right, Zach, but how do you do that? Right? That's our next question. But how do you do that? I got an answer for you. The best way to learn is to just do it. Now, when you first start doing it, it might come off a little rough around the edges, right? It's going to come off like that because it's new to you, right? But what happens as you begin to pick up some steam and do it more and more often, you begin to recognize things about yourself, about the women, and then naturally you clean it up. You refine it. See, the problem with a lot of guys is you want refined game without doing the work. You want refined game without doing the work. Right? It's kind of like, you know, have you ever seen that show Forged where they make the fucking daggers and swords and battle axes and shit? This is what guys want to do. Y'all want to make a fucking sword with a big lighter. That's what y'all want to do. Do y'all know how much heat it takes to bend iron and steel to make it pliable, to make a weapon out of it? You know how much heat it takes? Y'all want to make a sword using a big lighter. It ain't gonna work. Forge and fire, yes. Yes. And guys are looking at the game that simplistically, where you can take a fucking lighter and make yourself a sword with it. When it took me, it took anybody that got some game, it took us decades to make ourselves into a viable weapon. It took us decades. This shit didn't happen overnight. And guys want overnight game. I want to be a player overnight. I want to go from a guy who can't get no pussy, where I got 5 women on speed dial in 30 days. It ain't happening. Not happening. Not fucking happening. Not happening. I hate to tell you, it's not going to happen like that. Now, can shit pick up quickly for you? Sure. But when it comes to like actually maintaining the situations where you got women actually on your roster that you're seeing in increments or on a regular basis, to manage that situation where everybody chilling, you ain't got no issues with none of the women for the most part. You ain't got no issues. They happy getting dick dropped off like Uber Eats and they cool with it. When you can have 2, 3, 4 women like that and ain't nobody tripping, and you can have that at least for, maybe 3, 4, 5 months. Now, some of the girls are going to fall off and a new chick is going to pop on. But when you can have that going on for a minute, it takes time to get to that level. Don't work that way. It don't work that way. It ain't happening. Right. So anyway, let me get to these questions. Hold on real quick, y'all. So he says, I was smashing my coworker and letting her sleep over once a week, kissing, cuddling, etc. And I thought we was building. She left the job and now acting like she don't want to fuck with me. Bro, did you finish your shit? Did you finish? You know what? I'm glad he said this. I'm glad. And Juliana, I got Juliana here to back me up too. So shout out to her. I'm glad he said this. Hold on real quick. Real quick. There are 2 sides of the non-sexual activity coin. Okay? Listen to what I'm telling you. I'm glad he said this, because he said he was, cuddling and spooning and forking and everything else, pillow talking. He was doing all of that. And now let's look at what he says. I was smashing my coworker and letting her sleep over once per week, kissing, cuddling. I thought we was building. She left the job and now acting like she don't want to fuck with me because you were convenient. See, this is what guys don't understand, right? Again, let's talk about 2 sides of the non-sexual coin. One side of it is, if you introduce that shit to some women, they can get attached or they can, feel like they're bonding with you, right? That can happen. The other part of it is, you're doing that shit and the women are not bonding to you. See, it's a cold game. And this is what y'all have to understand. And I've been saying this about sex. Women do not look at sex as seriously as y'all think that they do. Because this woman was able to have sex with you, spend the night, and be held by you. And she has no profound emotional bond to you at all. Think about that. Think about how adept she was, where she was able to do all of that, and yet she remained emotionally unavailable the whole time. Y'all understand that? See, just because a woman is cuddling with you, kissing, all that, that doesn't necessarily really mean she's emotionally available. And let me just say this, just because a woman is sharing shit with you about certain details of her life, about, this guy did me like this and all that other shit, that don't mean she's emotionally available with you either. I told you guys, depending on how the sex happened with you guys, depending on how it came to be, depending on how quickly it happened, depending on whether or not you were leading or following, that's going to determine whether or not a woman is actually able to really surrender to you. If you move a certain way when it comes to sex, a woman cannot truly surrender to you. Guys, women do not, and I said this, women do not want to develop a profound emotional bond with men. One, they're not sexually attracted to, and two, they don't respect. Book that, etch that shit in stone like it was written. Women do not want to cultivate a profound emotional bond with a man that they are, one, not sexually attracted to, and two, that they don't fucking respect. I need guys to understand that. So back to what you were saying, Jay Smith, you were convenient. You were convenient. And my thing is, and what you did was, Jay Smith, you offered the extras. Oh, let me throw some cuddling on top. Let me throw some pillow talking, taking showers. I'm sure you guys probably ate breakfast in the morning in a whole nine. You probably woke up in the middle of the night, had some more rounds, and you got closer to her. And see, look, let me tell y'all something. I know a lot of y'all don't believe in karma. I do. I don't believe in many things, but I believe in karma, right? And the reason why I believe in karma, because I believe sometimes certain things need to happen to certain people to set the universe right in their own mind, right? So you can get it, right? And it could be just, we call it an epiphany moment. We can call it that. We never got to call it karma. We can call it epiphany. But my point is this. A lot of you guys, you introduce shit and you think that what you're doing is yielding a particular result because you think you understand the opposite sex. Jay Smith, you thought you understood it. Guys think because a woman can lay there with you and she can look lovingly into your eyes and you can hit her in missionary and look into her eyes and she's looking back at you telling you, give it to me. And she can talk to you and she's super soft. You guys, y'all really think you building a connection. Well, again, you have to ask yourself, outside of her showing up and being accessible to you sexually and her accepting your non-sexual activities, what is she doing really? What is she really doing in that situation to invest? See, a lot of you guys, you think laying up with chicks and fucking all goddamn day and holding each other and taking showers. Y'all. And I said this, and shout out to Miles and shout out to Miles Lucario and shout out to April MC. They had a live stream earlier, and I said this in a live stream. I said a lot of men look at love like women do. And she said she agreed. And I'm gonna tell you right now, sensible women who got it together mentally and emotionally, they don't like that. They do not want men to look at love like they do. They don't. Now, don't get me wrong. Women want to be loved by men that they love. Don't get it twisted. But they do not. They know that men looking at love like women do is dangerous. It's not good. It's not a good thing. right? And what I mean by that is, Jay Smith, you might be like, I don't look at love like women do. Yeah, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And the reason why is because you automatically assume that a woman doing all of that means something. Because you said, by your own words, you thought you were building. You thought you were getting connected. And bear in mind, by your own words, you attached the sex to the non-sexual shit. Smashing my coworker, letting her sleep over after the sex, kissing, cuddling, etc. So you attached the non-sexual shit to the sex, and you thought that was going towards something. She already knew that it wasn't going to be nothing. She was already emotionally detached the whole time. The real reason your casual situation gets complicated, it got complicated for you. See, it was never complicated for her. Guys, women know what they're doing, right? Women know what they're doing. The only time women where there might be some confusion is where women might kind of like you a little bit, right? Where there might be some confusion with your actions versus your words. But when women already firmly know what it is and what it isn't, because here's the thing, and I want guys to understand something. And I love, this is what I love about women. Women like her, Jay Smith, I love women like her. Women like her get it. They get it. They understand it. Meaning she played her position. She accepted what you offered, but she never did more. Think about that, Jay Smith. She accepted what you offered, but she never did more. She never, see, you were coming towards her emotionally, right? But she never really came towards you. She just accepted what you offered. But guys, when a woman is falling for you or falling in love with you, there's a very particular way that they behave. Okay, or at least there's very similar ways. But women who are falling in love, you know it. There is no second guessing. You know it. They make it clear. It ain't just them acting. No. When women, look, guys, I can't speak for y'all, but for me, women, they verbalize it. I've had women tell me that, Carrie, I don't know how you feel, and for you, maybe it's just sex, but I care about you. In fact, I think I'm falling in love with you. I've had women say that. So I know for a fact that women are highly capable of feeling things at a hurried pace, which is why, and Jay Smith, here's the key. Here's the key. I know the difference between a woman who is sexually attracted to me and she cool. She's content with just sex. She ain't sweating no extra shit. Versus a woman who is sexually attracted to me, but I can tell that if she could get more, she would take it. That she would love more. That she would love it. I could tell. I can tell the level of attraction. So if you're dealing with a woman and you understand your level of influence, you should know which women you can offer it to and which women you can't when it comes to non-sexual attention. You should know that, right? But again, she got you with her softness. That's how most of you guys get got. But now, when you're used to dealing with women, you can tell which ones are really feeling you versus the ones that are kind of just there enjoying what you've created. That's all she did, Jay Smith. She enjoyed what you created, but she didn't want to build upon it. Like you said, I thought we was building. No, she was content, right? In other words, she just wanted a job at your company. She didn't want a promotion, right? And understand that, guys. A lot of y'all got to play y'all position. Speaking of that, when we talk about the real reason why your casual situation gets complicated, a lot of y'all got to, play your position. And let me just say this, Jay Smith. One of the reasons why she probably bounced on you, right? And she ain't fucking with you no more, is because, again, the convenience, you were basically the work guy she was fucking, right? And I bet you, Jay Smith, if you're still watching, Be honest. How long did it take for you to get the pussy? Like, how long were y'all, when I say how long did it take, how long were you working together before you finally made your move? And then how long did it take for you to get the sex after you made your move? Like, I'd be very interested to find that out, right? I'd be very, very interested, right? Because what it seems to me is, depending on how it transpired, is that the setup was perfect for her because you're the work guy that gave her mad attention at work. And then now you're giving her attention away from work. So she's getting the best of both worlds. But what it seems like is now that she's working someplace else, she got her a new work boo. A new work boo. Something different, right? And you were just convenient for the moment. And again, women are very adept at doing that non-sexual shit y'all like. And many of you guys, y'all end up catching feelings and the woman doesn't. And that's where guys get upset. That's where y'all get in your ego. Y'all get in your ego because y'all like, man, there is no way I'm fucking this chick like this. We're doing all of this super passionate, affectionate shit. And I'm the one that got feelings and she don't. And a lot of guys feel some kind of way about that. Like it's a role reversal. Like, why I got all of the feelings and she don't? Because y'all look at love like women do. But most women don't even look at love like women do. Look, real quick, look, case in point. There's an article. It's called Sex and Love Don't Belong in the Same Bed. Okay, listen to me. And I did a video about this. I can't remember if it's on this channel or my old channel. There's an article called Sex and Love Do Not Belong in the Same Bed. The lady who wrote the article is an old British chick. Old British chick. Right? She's married, the whole nine. Now, the premise of the article is this, so y'all can understand how a lot of women are understanding what it really is when it comes to sex, right? Okay, married woman, she was looking at sex like a lot of women are conditioned to do. And then realization comes, right? They get hit with reality, and then women start to adapt their views on sex based on reality, right? So she, in her mind, because she was married, she thought the sex was supposed to be special to her husband. She thought the sex was supposed to be a way for them to have this emotional connection with her husband. And her husband was like, fuck you talking about? We just fucking. What you mean? So that bothered her, that her husband could look at sex in such a cavalier way, but her herself wanted to attach all of this butterfly shit to it, right? So she came to the realization that the true affection, the true intimacy of what they had was outside of sex. Meaning, holding hands, hugging. When she was cooking, he would come up behind her and hold his wife from behind and rock her back and forth and dance with her. All that type of shit. So she realized that's where the love really is in my relationship. The love is when we're fully dressed, but he still can't keep his hands off me, even if it's not in a sexual way. He's not being sexual by holding his wife and hugging his wife and holding his hand. So she realized that's where the real intimacy, that's where the real love is. And she understood that sex is something meant to be enjoyed. And it's just that. And when she learned how to separate her emotions from the sex, she was actually able to enjoy her husband on a whole nother level. Right? Y'all ain't ready for that. Y'all ain't ready for that. Y'all ain't ready for that. Right? Y'all ain't ready for that. Let me look at these questions. I got some questions. Hold on, we're going to get to the questions. Let me go ahead and snatch them up. Hold on real quick. Okay. Did I get that question already? Oh, this nigga said, hold on. This is the rest of your question. This nigga said, okay, so hold on, Jay Smith, come on, say it ain't so, bro. He said, I was smashing a girl for 7 months, kissing, cuddling, sleepover, thought we were building. She quit the job and now don't fuck with me. How she throw me away? I'm extremely Emotional distance. She threw you away, dog. Guys, see, I'm gonna tell you the problem. I'm gonna tell you the problem. I'm gonna tell you the problem. Hold on, you know what? It's time to break this down right now. Then hold on, real quick. I'm gonna tell you what happens. I'm gonna tell you what happened to you. Right? You were in a situationship. You created a situationship. Jason, she didn't create that. You did. You created a situationship. You got your feelings involved. She didn't. And you are left holding the boo-boo end of the stick. So let's break this down, right? So why situationships happen, right? Now, it could be, apparently this was on a woman's end, right? So here's the funny thing. You created this situation and it backfired. Jay Smith, let me explain. Most of the time when guys create situationships, it's the woman that's bitching about the inconsistency of the guy. Like, you keep doing this and doing that. What are we? You know what? One minute I feel like you care. The next minute I feel like you just want me here for sex, right? Normally it's the woman doing all of that. Like, it's complicated. I really like this guy, but I don't know if he wants me, right? It's usually that. But you created a situationship and it backfired, right? I want you to learn a lesson from this, right? So why situationships happen, right? Usually a fear of commitment, usually on a guy's part, right? Keeping your options open, usually on a guy's part, right? Convenience, easy access to companionship in sex, usually on a guy's part, right? Again, why situationships happen. Also, one person wants the other person more than the other, or one person wants it more than the other person. This is usually how situationships happen. See, this is why, real quick, this is why the use of partner or partnership in heterosexual relationships is dumb. There is no such thing as equal desire or equal love or equal want or equal like. There's always somebody that's way more invested than the other person. Always. Always. And because somebody is always more invested than the other person, there is a power dynamic that exists whether you want it to or not. It exists. You can't get around it. Because somebody wants somebody more than the other person who wants the person more is always going to be the most vulnerable person in the situation, emotionally and mentally. Always. And because of that, there is a power dynamic. That person got something that I want. I hope they give it to me. Or that person got something that I want that I'm getting. I hope they don't stop giving it to me. Once you have these thoughts, there's the power dynamic. This person got something I want. I hope they give it to me. They got the power. Or this person got something that they've been given to me that I don't want to lose access to. That person has the power. Jay Smith, you never had the power. The girl did. The girl had the power the whole time. You created a dynamic where you gave her all the power in the situation because you didn't know what you was doing. But I'm gonna help you out today, right? And your question is perfect for this fucking drop. The real reason your casual situation gets complicated because you complicated it. You didn't make it clear. See, this is what guys do. Y'all just do shit. And because the woman is going along with it, you fucking and you know, you enjoying what's going on, you just go with the flow of shit thinking that what's going on in your relationship is something more significant than what it actually is. You were believing that. And my question to you, Jay Smith, let me tell all you guys this. If you're fucking with a chick for 7 months and she ain't never told you she's in love with you, or she ain't never really came at you with that, I think I'm falling in love with you, in 7 months, bro, she ain't feeling you like that. 7 months. Bro, there is no way. There is no way. Bro, me personally, there is no way. There's no way I can be allowing a chick to spend a night with me and be around me non-sexually for 7 months and she don't get hooked, I've never seen it. So the fact that that's happening or the fact that that happened rather shows that she was never invested. Again, you were just convenient and she was just indulging in the situation. And again, you gave her the best of both worlds. You gave her consistent dick and you gave her some of the best non-sexual activities and access. Because you at work, bro, you work with this broad. I'm sure you took all your breaks with her, your lunches with her. Y'all probably, when she spent the night, y'all probably carpooled together in the same car and shit, right? You gave her the best 7 months of boyfriend energy ever. And you probably thought, Jay Smith, that was like your girlfriend, like y'all was right there on the cusp of being a couple, of being a thing. And bro, I hate to tell you. I mean, I ain't got to tell you. She was never invested emotionally. She was emotionally unavailable the whole time. So let me just say this real quick. And I want y'all to let this be a lesson for this reason. The fact that she was able to have sex with you for 7 months, lay up with you, cuddle with you, look into your eyes, take showers, whatever the fuck y'all did, and for her to not be emotionally invested. When y'all meet women for the first time and y'all are trying to make sex happen and women are trying to make you wait for sex on some, I don't get down like that, you got to date me, you got to get to know me. Those women are the same way. They will be the same way with you, emotionally unavailable. Let me break something down to y'all. When it comes to a woman's emotions, the more attracted a woman is to you, the more illogically she behaves, and the more spontaneous her emotions are. If you're dealing with a woman whose emotions appear very calculated, she's in full control of what's going on. That's why. She's in full control of what the mere fact that a woman can sit there next to you and say, I don't think we should kiss. I just met you. I think that's very inappropriate. We should date and get to know each other. That's usually what works for me, as far as closeness, getting to know each other. The fact that a woman can be composed and break it down to you like that means she's thinking very logically. Sexual attraction is not logical. So the fact that a woman can be composed talking to you about why she don't want to fuck you, and she's bringing way too much logic to it, or she's attempting to, that should show you right now there is no sexual desire from her. Because women are not having logical conversations with you. When they're sexual, it don't sound logical. Look, when women want to fuck you, there's no, when they're talking, it does not sound like you guys are having a logical conversation at all. Not at all. So if you're dealing with a woman and she's very composed, like she's breaking it down to you, you should look at her like, she don't want my dick. There's no way. Look at her. Look at how composed she is. Look at her. Like she's having a business meeting or something. She might as well be wearing a fucking business suit outfit with business trousers and shit. Right? How's she talking to me? Right? Because guys, you have to understand that desire, when a woman desires you, there's a certain way that she interacts with you. It's unmistakable. Right? It's unmistakable, right? So we got some more questions. Let me go ahead and get to these questions real quick. Hold on real quick. So, bro, real quick. Let me get back to this, right? Because I really want to break down what the homie is talking about, because it goes with what we're talking about with the overall premise of the joint. Also, let me just say this about why situationships happen. And Jay Smith, this is a hard pill to swallow. You don't have any standards. And you don't have any boundaries, okay? And I say this, and I say all that to say this. If you actually have standards and boundaries, there is no way as a man that you can allow a woman that kind of access that you gave her, where you are falling for her, but she never invests emotionally, right? You mistakenly believed because she was accepting spending the night with you, you thought that was investment. That's what you thought. That's not investment. See, guys, if a woman is fucking you, she's not fucking you for you. She's fucking you for her. I need you guys to understand that. It's not for you. It's for her. If she's spending the night with you, taking showers with you, all that shit, even if she's cooking your goofy ass breakfast, whatever the fuck she might be doing, it's for her. It's not for you. And the reason why it's for her is because you're giving women exactly what every woman wants: non-sexual activity. So if she's participating in it because you are allowing it, she ain't doing it because, oh, I really like him. She's doing it because, really? Oh, he's like, oh, cool. He's gonna let me spend the night. Fuck it, I'll take it. See, this is how you know you're dealing with a real bitch, right? And many of you, y'all not ready for this. This is how you know you're dealing with a real bitch. Two reasons. One, if she gets up on her own and starts getting ready to leave like she knows the drill. She doesn't loiter. She doesn't hang around in the bed talking. Shit, no idle chit chatter. She gets the fuck up. She hits that bathroom, washes her cat off in the sink, dips on some I'll see you later. If she do that, I'm fucking with that all day, right? I'm fucking with that all day. And for some of you guys, if you try to offer a woman to spend the night, a real bitch will tell you, nah, I don't think so. Right? When I say a real bitch, I'm talking about a chick because she's letting you know I'm emotionally unavailable. See, the other chick who's spending the night, she's not gonna tell you she's emotionally unavailable. She's just gonna go along with the shit. But the other chick who's like, nah, I'm good. Or if you go to a chick house and you try to lay in the bed and she's like, thank you, sir. Feel free to freshen up in the bathroom. And she might like tap you on the shoulder. You were great. But I'm good now. Right? Don't make a woman have to kick you out. Now, I've never had to go through that, but I know plenty of guys where the woman is trying to give them the hint, like, all I needed was your dick. Other than that, you're free to go. Right? Don't let a woman have to show you to the door. Right? It's gonna fuck with your ego. Don't let her do it. Right? So my thing to you guys is stop all of this non-sexual shit. And I said earlier, Jay Smith, play your position. You guys have to understand the difference between a woman who is simply content with having sex with you and she doesn't care about anything else. She's cool with just sex. She doesn't care about your fucking dates. She doesn't care about spending the night. She don't care about none of that. Now, if you offer it, she might accept it, but she doesn't care, right? You need to understand when you have those kind of women in your midst versus when you have a woman who's about it and she's checking for you. She's choosing. See, Jay Smith, she never chose you. You were choosing her. She never chose you. You chose her, and she just accepted being chose by you, but she never chose you back. And that's what you guys have to learn. And it's hard for your ego to accept the difference between the fact that you're not being chose by the woman you're having, to me. Goddamn. You're not being chose by the women you're having sex with. Just because a woman is having sex with you doesn't necessarily mean you're being chose by her. And shout out, there's a clip. Rich Paul, the agent for LeBron and a couple other people. Rich Paul was on the Fat Joe and Jada show. And Fat Joe was basically in amazement or admiring him getting Adele, the singer. You know what I'm saying? With all the money she worth and all of that, right? He was admiring that, right? That he was able to pull Adele. And he was also admiring the fact that Jermaine Dupri pulled Janet Jackson back in the day. Because his thing was, You little guys. He was talking about little dudes, all you little dudes with all this confidence and shit, right? Now, Jermaine Dupri was a trick. Like let's keep that clear. But anyway, enough about him. But my point is this. When Fat Joe was asking him, how did you get her and all this other shit, and I'm remembering just pieces of it. He said something to the effect of, well, I got chose. There are some guys, we know what it is. When you get chose, you get chose. So basically he was saying she wanted me. She was choosing up on me. Yeah, she knew I was attracted to her, but she came to me. She wanted me. She showed me, I want you. Not only am I sexually attracted to you, but I want you. And I want you to want me back. Not just sexually, but also non-sexually. See, when a woman is really about it, and she wants you to fuck her, and she wants you to date her, right? Jay Smith, she chooses differently. Her energy is different. See, she just accepted what you was offering. She wasn't pining for it. She wasn't yearning for it. See, when a woman is choosing you, she's pining for your attention. She's yearning for you. She wants you to like her. She wants you to ask her to spend the night. She wants you to do those things because she wants to be with you. Okay, whether she's saying it or not. And a lot of times when a woman is in a fuck buddy role, she might not say anything, but she's patiently waiting to get that invite to spend the night because she wants to be dated seriously. But my thing is this. If she hasn't earned that invite, guess what she's going to keep doing? Waiting. The problem with you, Jay Smith, and a lot of y'all give women non-sexual access on the cuff of you fucking them. They didn't earn it. He didn't earn spending the night. He didn't earn all that attention. So she never appreciated it. She was never grateful. So when you say she threw you away, of course she threw it away. She never wanted it. See, in order for a woman to truly be grateful, not only does she have to want it before you offered it, but she has to also understand she has to earn it. So she never asks for it. Repeat what I just said. See, women who ask for shit aren't worthy. Women who understand that they need to earn it, they never ask for it. They show out for it. They audition for it. They campaign for it. They go out of their way to show you that you should date them seriously. But you guys, y'all just give it to women so they don't appreciate it. Y'all understand that? So, real quick, let me see if we got any other questions. I need to put to the side real quick. Hold on real quick. Excuse me, there's a guest house out back if you don't want to drive home. Hey, look, real quick. Juliana, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. So there are exceptions, and I don't like to talk about this like in live streams and pre-recorded videos, because anytime I say shit, guys just take it and run with it without understanding the context of shit. So to Juliana's point, for me personally, there are extenuating circumstances where I've let a chick spend the night, right? Like an unexpected storm came in and it wasn't even on some let her spend the night shit. It's like, hey, I don't want you driving in that shit. Why don't you chill and see if it passes? And if the chick got sleepy or something like that, hey, I'll put her ass or on the couch, or when I had an extra bedroom, put her in a bedroom, put her in a fucking guest room, right? Like if you're in a one bedroom place, put her on the couch. Not you put her ass on the couch. Not you. Don't give up your bed. Don't do that, right? Or if you got an extra room, put her in a guest room for a minute. Hey, lay your head, right? And because she needs to understand, hey, look, although I'm just fucking you, and I don't like you like that, I don't want you to be harmed out here. Like a brother do give a fuck about people. I might not give a fuck about you or your life in the sense of all the things you're going through with your life, but I don't want you to be hurt out here in the storm and shit. So chill, right? So there are extenuating circumstances, but even with that, like you said, Juliana, with the guest house, you have to make it clear that sex is still separate from everything else. There has to be a clear separator between sex and everything else. So you can show compassion for a woman. You can show empathy, sympathy, all of that. You can be courteous to women while still also maintaining clear boundaries as to what it is and what it isn't. Yes, I can show concern for you, but I ain't trying to date you though. I can show concern for you, but we ain't cuddling though. I can show concern for you, but I don't want to hang with you and hear about your fucking life stories though. Right? You can show concern without overextending yourself and getting yourself into situations where now there's an expectation that you're not ready to consistently keep up. And that could complicate your situations with women. Look, we ain't gonna be here long, guys. I'm about to get up out of here in a little while, but let me look at y'all questions real quick. Hold on. There was some. All right, hold on right here. So he says, can't men understand that those men exist who make women break the rules and also know that they just won't be the guy because they aren't physically attractive enough? It has nothing to do with physical attraction. Had nothing to do with that. Had nothing to do with physical attraction. Had nothing to do with that. Because the same guys that get ghosted are the guys that are very physically appealing to some of those women. Right? It had nothing to do with how you physically look. It's how the woman views you, how she perceives you, how you act. It had nothing to do with simply how you look. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. So the mere fact that you think that shows that you're remedial. You have a remedial understanding of attraction. And you think attraction is surface level. No, it isn't. Guys, the mere fact that you can have a woman who can have sex with a guy after 2 or 3 dates, but then turn around and have sex with another guy after 5 minutes of meeting him, if that doesn't tell you that there are levels to sexual attraction and desire, if that doesn't tell you, if you don't understand that by now, you're lost. So the mere fact that there are levels to it, you have to understand that there is no way that a woman's, how she looks at attraction or views men is as simplistic as how a man looks. There's too many levels to this shit for it to be that basic and that simplistic. But again, because guys don't have no real experiences, because guys like Grandfather Nurgle, he's never been lusted before. He's never been lusted after, right? And he thinks lust is just about looks. Now, it can be, in some instances, a man can be visually appealing enough to evoke lust in women. There are some men, matter of fact, I'm glad we're talking about this. 6'8" the Great. Perfect example. For all the guys that watch those videos, in none of those videos are those women lusting after him. I haven't seen, and I really don't watch them like that, but the video clips that I've seen other people respond to, or that I've seen, here and there, clips, I've just seen like little clips, little 2-minute clips. There's no lust. There's no lust at all. All I saw was curiosity and interest. That's it. Curiosity and interest. Curiosity and interest does not imply sexual desire at all. When there is lust, when women can look at a man and say, damn, I want him inside of me. My pussy is throbbing. And I don't think guys understand it. Guys, I don't think y'all really understand that a woman's pussy literally can be throbbing for a man she just met a minute ago. Throbbing. Her pussy is throbbing. throbbing, pulsating. Okay, and I said this in a video. When women are extremely attracted to a certain man, their bodies respond to his presence. Their bodies respond. Okay, I talked about the biting of the lip. That's part of it. That's the exterior. Inadvertent woman biting her lip. She don't know she's doing that shit until somebody pointed out, girl, you biting your lip. Oh shit, she's embarrassed because she don't know. When a woman is extremely sexually attracted to you, they cannot hide it. If they are around you, if they are in close proximity to you, especially if they are conversing with you, they can't hide it. Eventually, they will give themselves away. So back to those videos. I want someone to send me a video where women are offering the pussy to him, where it's obvious. Okay? And they don't even got to use the word sex, pussy, or vagina or anything. Show me a video where women are trying to get an invite to his hotel. Or they're telling, hey, we're staying at this hotel. I can give you the room number away from the camp. Show me a video where women are literally putting a pussy on a platter and saying, you can come get this. I haven't seen no video showing that. So when guys see those videos, they think they understand what attraction is. If you've never been lusted after, if you've never had one night stands and had sex right away, you don't know what it looks like. I know what it looks like. And when I see those videos, that ain't it. I don't see no lust. I don't see no burning sexual desire at all. And even with the camera there, women might alter their behavior because the camera is there, but you're still going to see some evidence that the woman is trying to get at the guy. Even with the camera there. Even with the camera there. I don't think guys understand. And shout out to Lox Lesser, you know what I'm saying, a new member of the YouTube channel. Y'all go ahead and get on there. There are some YouTube videos that are only on the membership, but also the Patreon, exclusive to the Patreon and the channel membership. But also there are perks that you can get, right? Email consultations, phone consultations. There are perks you can get, right? Depending on what tier you're on. So go ahead and check out the channel membership, the Patreon, you know what I'm saying? If you're so inclined, you know, or don't, up to you. No pressure, no pressure. So, oh, Jilliana, girl, you playing with my emotions in the chat today. So she says, that pussy has a direct line to our brain, emotions, and feelings. Logic and sense are not going to play any role when the desire takes over. See, and I said this. Okay, and shout out to Jilliana. See, this is why I like fucking with chicks who are straight up and they're very genuine about what's really going on with women. And I've said this about women. A woman can dislike you as a person, but still want to have sex with you. She can dislike you as a person, but it's not about, it cannot be a situation where you did something to her. It's not no, like an example would be this. Like, let's say y'all have a college debate class together, right? And she hates your opposing view. She can't stand your opposing view, right? You didn't do anything to her personally, but she hates your opposing view. But every time she's around you, she gets wet, right? So what happens is women will literally fight an internal battle with themselves. Literally, what Juliana is talking about, right, is you have the logical side of the woman who says, based on the fact that we don't agree, I should not like him. Or based on the fact that he has that ideology, I should not like him. But my pussy is throbbing. And what happens is literally the woman is saying, I don't like this motherfucker. And her pussy is saying, but we do. Jilliana. her logical sense, her societal conditioning is saying, like even interracial shit, you have people, whether it's a man or a woman, You've been conditioned that you shouldn't date the other race, or you shouldn't date someone because of their religious beliefs. But then you get around that person, and all of that is telling you, I shouldn't fuck with this person. But your body is saying, shit. But your dick is like, shit. My dick is thinking completely different than my mind right now. Same thing with a woman. She like, based on how I'm supposed to feel about this guy, I shouldn't like him. But my vagina is like, girl, stop bullshitting. And then you know what her vagina says, Juliana? You don't got to date him seriously. Just fuck him and have fun. And then Juliana, that's when the vagina and the mind meets up. And she's like, girl, you right. I don't got to date him seriously. Ain't nobody got to know that I'm fucking him. Because everybody in the class like, ooh, they don't like each other. But you know what I see? When I see people go at it like that, I see sexual tension. That's what I see. I see sexual tension. And I've been in those situations where I tell girls, you mad because your pussy like me, but you don't. Tell a girl that one time. Tell her that. I said, girl, tell a woman that. You just mad because your pussy like me, but you don't. And watch her reaction. Watch her reaction. You just mad because your pussy likes me, but you don't. And you just tell her, guess what? I don't like your ass either. But my dick likes you. So I propose a truce. You and I, we ain't got to talk to each other. We can let my dick and your pussy do all the talking. And when they're done conversing with each other, we can part ways. And we ain't got to say nothing to each other until we in class debating again. But just know, when we in class debating, I'm in that ass. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Look, y'all would be surprised how women will respond to certain things. It would shock you. It would anger you that you took so long to make it happen. Right? So anyway, so let me get to this other question real quick. Hold on. I'm getting to all y'all questions. Hold on real quick. I feel like I'm missing something. Give me a second, y'all. I'm making sure I get all y'all questions. Okay, I got grandfather's question. I got Unique's question. I got that question. Should I participate in a speed dating event? My thing is, there's nothing wrong with trying anything once. You know, try it. Me personally, I wouldn't do it. It's set up for women. Speed dating is no. It's set up because me, I couldn't do it because I would be sexual. If you're giving me 60 seconds, I'm going in. Or I don't know how long they give you, but I'm going in. I'm fuck all of that. I'm going in. They wouldn't have. They would kick me out. They'd be like, he's too nasty. I'm going to fuck in. You know what I would say to every chick? This is what I would say, and I would get the fuck up and go to the next chick. I would have my number already written on a piece of paper, right? I would just have it all. I would have a little bunch of sticky notes and have my shit already written, and I would just give it to all of them. Like, look, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I ain't trying to sell myself. But when you get done with this shit and you get done talking to all of these guys and you want some dick, that number right there, utilize that shit. That's it. If you're giving me 60 seconds to talk to a chick, I'm going to use my 60 seconds and say that. That's what I'm going to do. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. And I don't care if all of them say no. I don't care. I'm not going to sit there and be trying to sell myself. Damn, in 60 seconds, I'm going to think of the most indirect, passive shit to say where I can still get her to be interested. It ain't happening. You might as well just come out and be like, look, fuck the dumb shit. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Let me get to the other question and shit. Yeah, try it, but understand that it's really set up for women. Look, guys, if you look at just society as a whole, if you look at dating, relationships, marriage, and all of that shit, Valentine's Day, a lot of this shit is set up for women. It's set up for women, right? And as a man, you have to be able to look at society and be like, you know what? I know it's female centric and this shit is set up to cater to women, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do the opposite of that shit. I'm gonna cater to myself. And I'm gonna do what the fuck I wanna do. And I'm only gonna fuck with the chicks that want me bad enough to break free from what they are used to. And they say, you know what? I like what he talking about. And that's it. I'm not trying to, because earlier the dude was talking about creating shit. I'm not trying to create nothing. I'm just rolling up on women. I'm keeping it real with them, and they want to fuck with it or not. Look, y'all can do all that extra shit. I ain't got time for it. I got a life to live. I got a life to live. I ain't got time for the extra shit, right? So he says, what's the line you say to women to make it abundantly clear that you just want sex? Or say sex first. You see what I'm saying? He want lines. Guys, I really hope that some of you get to the point where when you listen to these live streams or you watch pre-recorded videos, that you actually listen to the whole thing. Listen to the whole thing. Don't just watch the bits and pieces you think interest you the most. Listen to the whole thing. Because, G. Washington, anyone who watches me or who knows my content, y'all know I don't fuck with the pickup lines. I don't do the pickup lines. Every interaction I have with women is unique to that specific woman. Now, I'm the same, but the interaction is unique to that specific woman. Now, there are things when it comes to how I word things or word placement, right? And that's a whole nother level of the game. How you word things and placement of words, when you understand how to influence people and how to move people with words, you understand word placement. Like even when you give speeches, like when you think about a great orator, they understand word placement and they understand at what point in their speech they want to ignite the crowd. Like there's usually a point in their speech where they use their voice inflection and tonality because they want to ignite the crowd right now. And they understand that. When you understand that, you understand how to move women. Because you understand, yeah, I want to have sex with her, but I want it to be a particular way. I want to have sex with her in a very specified way, whether it be in my car, whether it be in this bathroom, in this establishment we just met at, whether it be in a swimming pool that I just saw, whether it be at that elementary school, we're going to hop the fence and we're going to fuck on that swing set or fuck on that slide or that fucking merry-go-round. However I want it to be, I know exactly how to assert myself in this situation to get that shit to go down. It's not so much about lines as it is about you knowing what you want and not being afraid to say it. G. Washington. That's where it starts. By you getting over the fear to say it. So it doesn't matter what line I give you if you're afraid to say it. If you are afraid to say it. So there is no line. Guys, just because you make yourself clear that you want sex doesn't mean you're going to get it. See, I don't make myself clear about sex because I'm concerned with getting sex. I don't give a fuck about that. I make myself clear about my sexual intent so the woman knows she can only have sex. She can only get access to me if she does what the fuck I'm doing. That's it. It's not about trying to get a woman to have sex or trying to convince women to have sex. No. It's about me letting women know, hey, guess what? I have a proposition for you. I have an opportunity for you, in fact. But understand, though, if I give you this opportunity, you can only accept it under these conditions. So, do you know how cold of a motherfucker you have to be to walk up to a strange woman whom you don't know and tell her, not in these words exactly, but to tell her, hey, look, check this out. I'm a man, you're a woman. I know you love dick. I got some for you. But listen, if you fucking with me, though, it's got to be exactly how I like it. And if you do that, then I'll give you some dick. And for her to be like, okay, strange random man who is offering me his dick, I'm going to follow you and do exactly what you want. I'm going to go where you want at the time you want. Right? Sounds crazy, right? But it happens. And that's the thing about sexual attraction. That's why it's illogical for a strange man to roll up on a woman and they don't know each other. And for him to say some words to her, G. Washington. And she's like, oh, he can get this pussy. He can have it right now if he wants it. Okay. And even if she ain't fucking you right now, the fact that she's saying to herself, he can get it. And even if you set up a date at a later day and y'all have sex then, it don't matter. Either way, for you to roll up on a woman and she is with it right now. See, guys can't fathom that, G. Washington. Guys can't, they're like, nah. This is why guys like Goof Nurgle or Grandfather Nurgle, I said Goof Nurgle, but that's about right. This is why they think it's all about looks or money or status. Because there's no way you can have a conversation with a strange woman and she wants to fuck you right now. This is why guys will look at me, for instance, or they'll look at the guys from the Real Game, No Theory panel, right, with their heteroflexible ass. And they'll be like, I don't see it. I don't see it. Nope. I call cap on them niggas. I don't see it. And here's the beautiful thing about it. You don't have to see it. And here's another beautiful thing about it, right? Go back and check the live streams of the women watching in a live chat and commenting in a live chat. And they say, I see it. I believe it. And that's the beautiful thing, because here's the thing. Because you don't have a pussy, for all you guys who think you understand women and attraction, you don't have a pussy. So you can't begin to understand how women discern who gets the pussy and who don't. You can never, guys, even though I'm knowledgeable as fuck, and I have way more knowledge than most. And I understand women very, very, very well. There are still things about women when it comes to their sexuality that I would never fucking know. Because I'm not a fucking woman. But I know more than enough, though, to understand attraction, desire, and how it really works. I understand that much. And I understand how to make sure I get what I want out of it. I understand it because here's the thing. Every man, every woman, all right, all of us who are heterosexuals, right? We all want to deal with each other on some level. People can say what they want. Okay, whether you like the opposite sex or not, you want to deal with the opposite sex on one level or another, whether it's sex or everything else. You want to deal with the opposite sex on some level. So my thing to guys is this. There's a multitude of ways you can do that, okay? Passport bros, we'll use them. Passport bro said, fuck it. I'm spending money here in America or wherever country they're from. I'm spending money. I'm taking women out on dates. I'm not getting any sex, or I'm not getting the sex that I want. So let me go overseas where my money will, in most cases, guarantee me not only sex, but sex with attractive women, probably more attractive than what they're used to. So passport bro said, fuck it, I'm going overseas. Here's the problem that I got with most passport bros, not all of them, is if you're going to do that, if you're going to go overseas and be like, fuck it, I'm going to go spend my money over there and get guaranteed sex from better looking women or whatever, right? Fine. But just understand that it's not true, genuine sexual desire, though. It's not true submission, though. That's not what you're getting. You're getting negotiated sex. You're getting a woman who is mimicking submission, but she's not really practicing the true essence of what submission is. Because if she was, you would have got the pussy without spending money. Understand that, right? Just understand what it is, right? Guys who trick, who pay for sex workers, just understand what it is. It's not true, genuine desire. It's not true affection. If you didn't give her that money, if you didn't take her out on them dates, if you didn't pay those bills, she wouldn't have gave you no pussy. So just understand that she didn't want your dick. She never wanted your dick. Even when you're fucking her, she still don't want that motherfucker. She's just allowing you in her because you negotiated it with her using money. I want every guy who can't get women with true, genuine desire, just understand what lane you're in and why you're getting the sex. And don't be mad at it. Own that shit. Lean into it. If you got a trick for pussy, just say, I'm a tricking ass motherfucker. If you got to get your passport, bro, and get on a plane, just say, fuck it. That's what I got to do. That's what I'm doing. Fuck y'all. Own it. I can respect guys who own it. But when you try to pretend you are a player and you are a payer, I can't respect that. Because you're trying to pretend to be something that you're not. You're not a player. Players don't pay for sex. And players don't have to pay women to maintain access to them sexually. Ever. For no reason. Just understand what lane you're in and stay in that fucking lane. Own it. Now, if you want some of this ism, and you want women to actually want you for real and desire you for real, like they're sitting around really thinking about you like I miss him, I want him inside of me right now. If you really want that shit to go down, then you need to rock with the motherfuckers that you need to rock with so you can learn some shit. But using pickup lines ain't gonna help you with that. The game is too deep for pickup lines. The game is too deep. Because guys, it's not just about words, guys. It's not just about words. It's deeper than words. All right, so let's get to this next joint right here. He says, whether I want a long-term dating with a woman or sex, it starts off with sex first. It's always sex first. Guys. Okay. Just so you guys can understand why. For me, it's always sex first and nothing but sex. And it's for a multitude of reasons. One of the reasons is I don't know how the woman personally views sex, like what her relationship with sex is. Like, I don't know how she views sex. I don't care. I don't care if a woman says she's a virgin. And I've told women, if a woman tells me she's a virgin, I'm like, that's cool. Congratulations. But you're about to lose your virginity now. If you fucking with me, you're about to lose it. And I'm not taking you out. I literally told a chick that shit who said she was a virgin. Okay, cool. But you're going to lose that. And I'm not going to be your boyfriend either. I'm not going to be one of them dudes pretending that I like you a lot to get your pussy. Like, let me tell y'all something real quick. And this is one thing I'm proud of. I'm proud of this shit. Even as a youngster, even as a teenager, I never lied to women. I never pretended like I like women more than I did to get pussy. Never. Never, ever in my life have I ever did that. Not one time. Fortunately for me, I haven't had to, but I never did that. And one of the main reasons why I never did that is, one, I don't like women like that. Let me explain. I love women, don't get it twisted. But for me to pretend to like a woman to get pussy, that would put me in a predicament to spend non-sexual time with women that I don't want to spend time with. That would put me in a predicament to talk on the phone or to text, and I don't want to. So I'm not doing that. I'm not pretending. So I'm just telling, well, we fucking, what's up? Yeah, and I'm not going to put it like that necessarily. I mean, I could and I would if I had to. But my point is, women are going to know if I'm fucking with Kerry, I got to fuck, or he won't deal with me. Like any woman who's ever met me, they know if you want to see me again, like after we meet, if you want to see me again, it's going to be in my bedroom. It ain't going to be eating dinner nowhere. It ain't going to be out doing some other shit. It's going to be in my motherfucking bedroom. That's where it's going to be. So if a woman knows that and she is not sexually attracted to me, guess what she's going to do? She's going to leave me alone. And that's what I want. I want every single woman who don't want this dick to disappear. Disappear. Adios. Gone. Be gone. Out of here. Right? I want them to go. Kind of like when Thanos snapped his finger and everybody disappeared. Whenever I come across a woman and I realize they don't want this dick, the snapping of the finger, right? She's gone. Like when I say gone, she's out of my consciousness. A lot of you guys, y'all walk away from the interaction still thinking about those women. Bro, how do you have room in your head for a woman that told you no? How do you have room in your head for that? You should not have room. Look, let me tell y'all something real quick. I'm going to show y'all how immune I am to women telling me no and how I don't take it that serious. Joe Blast, Unique, Wicked Scorpion, I think, and there's some other people that on my day one that have been here for years. Y'all might remember this story. And I told this story probably about a year ago, and one of the women said it was, damn, that's rude. One of the women that was listening said that was some rude shit that the chick did. And it was rude. But I wasn't stunting her. I wasn't worried about her. So real quick, right, to tell you how immune I am to that and how much I don't care. So years and years ago, I was about, how old was I? I think I was 22, about 22 years old, right? So to show you how far back it go with me, like how much I don't give a fuck, right? So myself, one of my brothers, and I think two of my other friends, it was like 4 or 5 of us. We had went to Tony Roma's Steakhouse. If y'all remember Tony Romo, whatever that is, right? Steakhouse. Back in the day, right? It was downtown. We went to the mall, River City Mall, right? And they had that steakhouse. So we went out to eat, right? And this is something that we used to do. And I still do this from time to time with some of my boys. You know, we go to breakfast and shit like that, right? So we went out, no girls, just the fellas. We went out, boom, steak dinner, right? So we left the spot. On the way down the street, we're walking downtown, and we run into a group of women. Maybe 4, 5, 6 chicks. There's about 4 or 5 of us. So we start talking to these chicks. Oh my God. So we start talking to these chicks. And one of the chicks said this: do y'all have some other friends? This is what she said, right? She clearly wasn't, none of the chicks in the group was feeling any of us. So one of the chicks, now, what the chick could have did, the chicks could have been like, oh no, we're not interested. And they could have walked off because none of them was feeling any one of us, right? But one of the chicks said, do y'all have any other friends? As if to imply, we ain't feeling none of y'all motherfuckers. Do y'all got some better looking friends? Or some friends that we feeling? So the homies, they got all offended. And I'm like, no. I'm like, hold on. I'm like, it's cool, right? So they was getting all upset. And I'm like, no. It's okay. So this is what I tell her. I said, you know what? We do. Because back then, we used to always roll deep. We had a bunch of friends, right? Or acquaintances, whatever you want to call them. I said, we do. we have some guys, we have 4 or 5 guys that we can call right now. And maybe they'll be here in about 30 minutes, maybe an hour, but we can call some guys right now that might be here, fairly quickly. So I'm telling the girls this. I'm like, we might be able to work something out. Right? I might be able to call some different guys, right? And I had some homies that were like basketball tall, like 6'5", 6'7" niggas that weren't there, right? And so I said, I got some basketball playing niggas. You know what I'm saying? I can call them for y'all if that's what y'all like. I said, but this is what I'm gonna need from y'all though. Right? I'm talking to the ladies, right? We're negotiating. They're not attracted to us. They're making that clear, so we're negotiating. So I said, I can call up some more homies if y'all can call up some more chicks that look better than y'all. Right? This is what I tell them. Right? I'm not mad. I'm just telling them. I'm trying to work something out. I'll call up some more homies if y'all can call up some more chicks that look better than y'all. Now, I was not trying to imply that these women were unattractive. I was not trying to imply that. What I was letting them know, if I'm gonna bother some of my homies and get them to come down here to meet y'all, it has to be worth it. So y'all have to call up some other homegirls that look better than y'all. And yeah, they took offense to that. Yeah, they took offense. But I wasn't trying to be offensive. I was trying to negotiate. And that's what I told them. Why you getting mad for, baby girl? What you get? I'm trying to help you out. You want some better looking niggas? I'm trying to get them for you. Can we have some better looking bitches though? See, ain't that fair? You want better looking niggas. I want better looking bitches. Ain't that fair? She got offended. This is a true story, I swear to God, on everything I love. True story, right? See, I don't get offended. I just negotiate, right? Right, so guys, if you ever talking to a group of chicks and the chick you want don't want you, all you got to do is say, look, keep it real with me. Tell me the truth. I know one of your girls want this dick. Tell me which one. Tell me which one want this dick. Because you clearly don't want this dick. Tell me the truth. Which one? Which one was whispering to you before I came over here? Now, truth be told, nobody wants your dick. Nobody was whispering about you. But you see how confident that is? Say that shit anyway. Say that shit anyway. Say it anyway. Say it anyway. Get used to looking at yourself like you're the kind of guy that can get it popping at any moment. And if she don't want your dick, maybe she does. Holla at your girl. Let her know it's here for her. Right? And look, let me just say this real quick. On the real, I've had women do that. Right? Where I've met women and they told me straight up, I'm not interested, but I have a homegirl or I have other friends that might be. Now, any of you guys ever experienced that? You met a chick, she basically told you she wasn't with it, but she has some homegirls that she can introduce you to. And that especially works, like if you're at a bar or a club and you approach a woman who's by herself and you don't know she's with other people. So she basically lets you know she ain't with it, but she said, if you wait a minute, my homegirls went to the bathroom or they went to the bar, they'll be back over this way. I can introduce you. Every now and again, that will happen. So what usually happens is when a woman does that, what she is saying is, although she's not interested in you, she doesn't think you're unattractive. She's just not feeling you. But she thinks that your overall look might be more appealing to some of her friends. Y'all understand that? So there are times where a woman might not be feeling you, but she might try to, pass you off to one of her girls because one of them might, right? And I've had that happen a couple times, right? And it doesn't mean that the friends are going to want you either. Okay? She just said, be clear. All she said was, I have some friends that might, emphasis on might, be interested. Because the introduction still got to go down. So don't get excited if that ever happens. Just understand that they still got to choose you. Just because the friend is putting in a good word, don't mean it's going to go down. Right? Just understand that. Don't get excited about that shit. Never get excited. So he says, How can you practice detachment? Okay, guys, y'all like to talk about practice and stuff, but you can't. Okay, so he says, how can you practice detachment? How do you not let your feelings get involved after fucking? Okay, so let's work backwards and go forward. Okay, you're talking about fucking. Okay, guys, hold on. Give me a real quick second. I got to grab some water. Give me a second. All right, back at you motherfuckers. All right, so let's go work backwards. So you said, how do you not let your feelings get involved after fucking? Okay, what I will do for you is refer you to an article titled Sex and Love Don't Belong in the Same Bed. Go Google that. Sex and love don't belong in the same bed. Read that article. Okay, again, it's an old British white chick, right? Right? Just to let you know that it's not about race. It doesn't matter, right? It's an older British chick, probably in her 50s or something like that. And this is a couple years back. She penned that article, Sex and Love Don't Belong in the Same Bed, and about her revelation about the fact that she was trying to marry sex and love together. She was trying to marry that shit up, and it wasn't working. That's why she did the article, Sex and Love Don't Belong in the Same Bed. Exactly. Love is deeper. See, right there. And I'm glad you said that. Right there. Right there. Right there. Right there. Right there. Love is deeper than sex. See, and let me say this real quick. When you, in my opinion, you lessen the value, or you water down the power of what love is supposed to really represent when you bring sex into it. Right? You water it down, right? Because love can exist by itself. Sex can exist by itself. People can have sex without love, and love can exist without sex. Case in point, right? For many of us, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, our great-great-great-grandparents, right? When you go further back in the annals of time, right? Many of those people were not having sex until they got married, right? In many cases. So what does that mean? If they were not having sex until they got married, and then you have people who actually develop deep, profound bonds for each other, what does that mean? That means that both men and women are highly capable of forming very deep emotional bonds and connections with the opposite sex without sex. It can happen. You don't need sex to form a deep bond with somebody, right? You don't need it. It can exist by itself. The problem is when people try to marry it together, right? This is why, as an example, think about cheating. Look at cheating, right? Look at cheating as an example. You got people who delete themselves when they get cheated on. They delete themselves when they get cheated on. Or they delete or attempt to delete the person that they were with and or the person that the person was cheating with. Like people are out here literally trying to delete people behind sex. Why? Why? Because they're merging or they're marrying their feelings with sex. And then now sex becomes this thing that loses containment. Think about Chernobyl. Chernobyl, am I saying it right? The joint in Russia, the nuclear power plant, Chernobyl, that went up in the late 80s, I believe is when it happened. Correct me if I'm wrong, 88, 89-ish, I think is when it happened, right? They lost containment of the nuclear energy, right? When you think about sex, the moment you start having all of these emotions and all of that, it loses containment and it becomes something else. And that's why people do crazy shit and they crash out behind sex. It's not that serious. It's not that serious. But because people attach love to sex and all that goofy shit, and it's goofy. And let me just say this real quick. Y'all have a right to view sex however you want, but just understand there's nothing but pain for y'all. For women, men and women. For all y'all who attach love and sex and you want to have your emotions all attached, there's nothing but pain for y'all. For the rest of your life, nothing but pain. Nothing but pain. That's all I'm telling you. Nothing but pain. Right? This is why some guys can get cheated on, and it hurts. It bothers them. It's mad disrespectful to have a chick cheat on you, but at the same time, I've never been cheated on to my knowledge. I don't know. I'm just saying, right? But you have some guys, they get cheated on, they're like, okay. And on the inside, it might be fucking with them. They might be tore up on the inside that their woman did that to them. But on the outside, they're like, I'm not going to show her that. I'm not going to cry and yell and act all fucking emotional in front of her ass, right? But they're deeply bothered by that, right? But they're able to maintain, you know what I'm saying, at that time. Now, when they sit in the car by themselves, they might punch the steering wheel and yell and shit. Who knows, right? But then you have other guys who just lose it, right? Because the guy who doesn't lose it, as much as it hurts him, he's able to rationalize, as much as it hurts, my life is not over. Not over. Yeah, that bitch ain't shit, but it's not over for me. So let me not trip. The other guy, his life is all fucked up. His life is all fucked up. Come on, man. You know? So anyway, hold on real quick, make sure we ain't got no other questions. Okay, hold on, y'all. Okay, but let me get back to, because he asked this. Okay, again, guys, it doesn't matter if you're mainly interested in dating a woman for the prospect of a long-term situation, or if you're just interested in casual sex encounters. It doesn't matter. You still need to know if she desires you sexually. You need to know that. You need to know if her interest in you is genuine and if it's sexual. Now, guys, let me just say this. It's okay if a woman is sexually attracted to you and she wants you to date her. It's okay if she wants both. It's okay. But you can't give her both. That's the problem. You can't give her both. It's okay if a woman says, I'm sexually attracted to that guy and I really, really like him and I want him to not only fuck me, but I wouldn't mind being dated seriously by him too. There's nothing wrong with women desiring that. But for me, it's a no. No, I'm not dating you, right? And here's the thing, and it goes back to the real reason your casual situations get complicated. When women ask you, what are your intentions? What do you want? Guys, if you know for a fact you're dealing with a woman and you don't want anything but sex from her, you know that in your heart of hearts, you don't want nothing else. There should be a very specific answer you give if a woman asks you, what are your intentions? Conversely, if you're interested in dating a woman and she asks you, what are your intentions? You should have a different answer because your intentions are different. The problem with you guys is y'all give safe answers. And what I mean by safe answers is you say what you think the woman wants to hear so you can either get access sexually if you haven't gotten it already, or you say what the woman wants to hear so you can maintain access to her sexually if you've already been fucking. So if you know you don't want to fuck, if you know you don't want to date her, rather, if you know beyond any shadow of a doubt, I never want this woman to be my girlfriend. I never want to look at her in that way. I'm never going to date her. If she was to ask you, what are your intentions? You should be able to say, look, I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm just trying to fuck. I have no intentions of doing anything, beyond that. So if you with that, we can make it happen. Most guys will not dare tell a woman the truth. I'm just trying to fuck. And you don't even have to use those words. You don't have to use vulgar language to get your point across. Me personally, I don't see no problem with it. We're grown-ups. I mean, because when I'm fucking you, I'm going to be cursing at you anyway. I'm going to be using vulgar language the whole time anyway. So fuck it. We can start right now. Get you used to how it's going to be when we actually fucking. Right? So again, if a woman asks you what your intentions are, and it's just sex, like, I'm going to keep it real with you. See, a lot of you guys, you'll say shit like, well, I'm not looking for anything serious, but we'll play it by ear. Or I'm not looking for anything serious, but you never know. Why would you do? That's dumb. Right when you do that, you invite potential drama. Right when you do that, you invite drama. Because even if a woman is not thinking about it consciously, subconsciously, if you say that, right? Now, what you're saying, I'm not looking for anything serious, but you never know. We'll see. Right? Let's say you say that. And then you let her spend a night. Consciously, she heard you say you're not looking for anything seriously. Subconsciously, all she knows is you was cuddling with her all night. And you let the sun catch you. When I say you let the sun catch you, meaning when the sun came up, she was still there. It don't matter what the fuck you said, it's what the fuck you're doing. So when I talk about, real quick, let me get back over here. Stop blurring lines in casual dating. You're blurring lines. You have to make it clear. Are you dating her? Or are you guys just fucking? Now, if a woman asks you your intentions, and let's say you've been fucking for a little while, couple months, few months, whatever, and she asks you what your intentions are, and let's say for the sake of argument, you've already pondered the prospect of dating her. Like you've already thought about it. You just haven't said anything to her about it yet, right? But she happened to beat you to the punch. She's mentioning it first, right? So she's mentioning, Carrie, I don't know if you know this, but I like you a lot. Right? I'm giving y'all some real conversation I had with women. I don't know if you know this. I'm looking, yeah, I know this, right? But I like you a lot, like a lot. Like I'm sexually attracted to you. The sex is great and amazing, but I like you a lot, Carrie. So she's basically telling me I'm falling for you. So I hear this. So Carrie, look, I don't know how you view me or where this might go, but I'm just letting you know how I feel. Right now, in that situation, that's the perfect time to let her know what it is. Right? And I've had situations like that where a woman wasn't necessarily asking me my intentions. She was just letting me know where her mind was at. And I basically told her, well, now let's say for the sake of argument, here's a woman that I've pondered the prospect of dating, but I'm still not all the way there yet. I got a perfect answer for that. Well, look, appreciate you sharing that with me. But right now, I like the way things are. Right? So we're gonna keep things the way they are for the foreseeable future. If anything should change, you'll be the first to know. Under promise, over deliver. See, I'm not committing to anything, but I'm also letting her know I'm always gonna communicate with you. When you're dealing with women, you should always communicate with women, not necessarily with your words, part of it, but also with your actions. What are you guys doing? What role is she supposed to play? And that's another thing right there. This is what guys don't understand. If you're talking about being a leader, that means the woman is following, right? Follow the leader. So if you're the leader and she's following you, he needs to know Where am I following you? Oh, my alarm didn't even go off. Sam, bro, all you had to do was just say that. I got you, bro. I got you. Guys, I'm overdue for a session. I got you. Normally my thing go off. My bad, right? My bad, right? Bro, next time when you say I'm waiting for you, say that. Because you're steady commenting in the chat with everybody, and you say, Zach, I'm waiting, but you're steady commenting. Say, Zach, hey, FYI, bro, boom. Right? Guys, on that note, I got the homie waiting. So if I didn't get to your question, my bad. Sam, I'll owe you a couple extra minutes. I got you, fam. The real reason your casual situation gets complicated. Guys, like, share, subscribe. Also, listen to the playback. Sam, no, it's not your bad. It's my bad. It's not on you. It's on me. Right? But what I'm saying is, and it comes back to communication. If you knew I was over the first time you noticed it, instead of saying everything else you were saying, you should have just said, I know Zag is spitting, but I got a private consultation. Fuck that. I'm priority. Like, and you are, Sam, so I got you. Right? On that note, I'm out. Like, share, subscribe. Peace.